Hello everyone and welcome to Hearts Are Blazing Season 2, Week 5 already. Damn, we're getting on. I'm Shay Benji, you know me by now, but I am joined today by someone who I've been anxious to have on commentary for quite a while. And Dunks, if you'd like to introduce himself.
Hey guys, I'm Dunk. You guys may have seen me commentating another game by Oxus, a lesser game, I'd say Dragon Ball Fighters, but I'm here to commentate some Granblue, and you guys are an amazing community. I'm happy to be able to watch and commentate, learn from your games, but yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
Yeah, and I'll quickly take a moment to shout out Virum and everyone else who has helped out with the match arena so far. Virum dropped pretty much a $40 donation before this event started to round out our numbers to a nice and even. Again, my OCD is loving this as much as yours, Virum. But a nice, even 250. Obviously, not everyone can donate as much as that, but if you have just 2 seconds of time, you can input our code HAB Season 2 GB2, and you can donate $50 to the bracket entirely for free, and that'll go straight to the top 3 of this tournament. To explain the format to you, it's basically just 7 bi-weekly events for Granblue Fantasy Versus and Guilty Gear, followed by an invitational where only the people who reached top 16 in all of the events leading up to that in the open bracket get invited to a season finale, basically, and the top 3 of there will take home all of the money. Things have been shaping up pretty interestingly, and luckily we have pretty much every top attendee in this event at the moment, which is lovely to see.
And obviously for me, I haven't seen a lot of these players play, but it's interesting. I think it's interesting to get a viewpoint from someone who knows absolutely nothing, just because it means I can see everyone play from every single different level. And obviously that is what we're here for, right? We're here to have some good games in Granblue. So even if you don't make it into that top 16, hopefully you have an enjoyable time in the bracket. But I believe we're going to get our first game coming up soon. It's going to be Breaker going up against Dudakov.
Yeah, Breaker and Dudakov have been around for quite a while, but Dudakov, I believe we hadn't seen for a while until recent events. But he's a part of the Matera gang, and everyone knows they're everywhere at the moment. So Breaker from Lithuania and Dudakov from the UK, I believe, are our representatives, which will be a Ferry versus Matera matchup. One of my favourites, but before we get to that, just like to take a moment to shout out what's on your screen right now, which is an event that myself and Diaphone set up, which is a Europe versus East Coast exhibition. It's going to be a 5v5 Japanese-style event where players from, some of the best players from the East Coast and Europe that have relatively, workable, in inverted commas, connections to each other. It should be, it's mostly just in good fun, but regardless, it should be a brilliant watch nonetheless, and I'll be commentating that with Gandido over on Diaphone's stream. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, which, I definitely think you should be sure to check it out.
I mean, you guys are very lucky to have some cross-Atlantic action going on. And, it's going to be a great watch. I'll for sure be there.
We wish it would be in better circumstances, like some rollback action, but we'll make do. That's what this entire community is about at this point. We've been making do this entire time. We'll keep it going.
Honestly, I look at the Granblue players. You guys are literally just the mad lads. You guys will do anything and everything, and I'm happy to see it. But not going to see that in my game anytime soon. But I think we're just about ready to get into the game. And I've been really wanting to ask, actually, what do you think about the Matera Ferry matchup? Because for me, I look at it, it's like 2 zoners going at it.
Both of these characters have... Well, before I get to that quickly, I just want to say this is our first week of Anre for this Hearts of Blazing season. So maybe we'll be seeing some people switching over to Anre.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're seeing Breaker's Zeta against the Matera. A very similar matchup to Ferry versus Matera. But I'll explain that in just a second, because it's time for everyone to get it revealed to them. Let's see who notices it first. Let's see, chat. Who knows? Who's noticed something? Anything weird?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's in the back.
I'm kind of really happy with this one. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna hold any, but I saw it and I was like, "This was beautiful. I can't believe you've done this."
Shoutouts to Kraz for all the help, man. Honestly, couldn't have been possible without him. All I did was give him a few assets.
it looks amazing. It looks beautiful. Just as beautiful this round is. He's going absolutely ham. Gets the P very, very quickly.
7 golden letters going into that, going for Breaker there. And again, this matchup is no slouch. Both of these characters have really good zoning and anti-zoning tools to deal with each other. But they also have no meterless reversals, except, well, Zeta obviously has her version of one. But for the most part, they have, not the best defense in the game. Which results that both of these characters, when they get their up-close offense going on each other, just run an absolute field there. So this matchup a lot of the time comes down to who gets the first, you know, like, good knockdown. Luckily for Zeta, she has great pokes, so great ways to convert into those knockdowns. It can pretty much turn any knockdown into Oki. Metera doesn't quite have as good of a time as that, but both of them have definitely very good offense. So it's an interesting one. People die.
What you saw in the first round as well was Breaker just going ham, the momentum carrying him through, and he's trying to use that now. As soon as he gets the first hit, takes Metera to the corner, manages to get a clean hit, will take that round.
Breaker looking really strong with the Zeta. I do know that he used to play a fair bit of Zeta back in the day. It's interesting to see him bring it out in tournament. I mean, it could be matchup specific. This matchup is equally as cursed for Ferry, the other way around, because obviously Ferry has to commit to the DP quite often. But Metera is really good at making her offense DP safe a lot of the time. You're basically just looking for hops.
And this matchup looks like whoever really starts getting going is going to be able to take the round. But if the offense, like, I'm not sure how the offense is from Metera, but for Zeta, it just looks really, really suffocating.
The thing is as well, though, is that both of these characters have brilliant ways to alter their air momentum as well. The difference being, though, is that Zeta's anti-air is considerably better than Metera's. Basically, on counter hit or non-counter hit, Zeta will get a full knockdown and a lot of screen carry. Whereas Metera doesn't necessarily always get the same treatment, especially with her 2H and 1H being air blockable as they are projectiles.
And honestly, when the game came out, I was like a big Metera fan. I was like, I'm definitely going to play this character. I see the butterflies come out, and they're always a little bit underwhelming to me, but seeing Breaker try and keep Metera locked down. We'll get knocked down 2 butterflies.
Nice. Getting the anti-air on the hop. And that's one of the big things that you've got to look out for in this matchup. Can't let them hop with impunity, otherwise they will just run their offense on you all day. Yep.
Well, I think this is set point for Breaker. We'll see if he can take it here. Throw comes out for Dudikoff, but the bar out? Is that something that Breaker should be doing against Metera?
Honestly, it's not like the worst, but obviously, as we can see, it hasn't worked out for him in this case.
Yeah.
Dudikoff playing it relatively slow, trying to keep his offense going, and there we go. We're seeing the laser's really good anti-zoning tool, but as long as Metera has high shot up, she should be winning those exchanges. As the high shot will go over the laser. Nice, getting the combo. That isn't going to be dead, I don't know. Maybe it is. Nah, goes to the combo limit instead. Trying to keep that last hit for the super, and that looks like it should be dead on the other side. Dudikoff clinching it out. 1 round from evening it up.
Nice from Dudikoff there. I think it was an awkward situation where the throw was just out of range, or just a bit too early, and then he managed to throw the whiff throw. We'll take that round. It's 1 apiece. And I'm actually interested to see
butterfly. Both of the players now committing to this more patient zoning style, which again is what I really love about this matchup, is that it can be played in so many different ways. But as I said before, once Zeta gets the knockdown, it's very hard for Metera to get out.
Tries to block all of this out.
No punish on the sphere. Not always easy, obviously. Every single time that Zeta does pretty much anything, it's an RPS.
Yep. Finally getting out of the corner.
Gets a punish.
That was sick, actually. I really like that. He like hopped away for the bait. Is this gonna kill?
No, not quite. Doesn't get the full animation. And this is a problem because now Metera has no reversal available to her. So if Breaker can manage to get his way in, never mind the high shot. Taking out the laser.
Yeah, that looked like a sucky situation there. He didn't have much help to work with. It seemed like Chip was inevitable. And oh my god, even on the outro screen, you can see the hearts are blazing.
Yeah, that's when you see the wall cloth. That's when it looks real nice.
This is amazing. No, it looks actually good, and I'm glad we're getting 3 games to watch it on between these two.
First match of the day, and it's a good one. And the thing to remember about this matchup is that Metera basically marginally wins in the zoning game, and Zeta marginally wins on the offense game. It's close, but if either one of these characters can get into their comfort zones, they can really have a field day. We're seeing that Dudikoff is going for a much more patient style. And Breaker's basically trying to force his way in. And whenever either one of them plays at the other player's tempo, it ends. Yeah, you can't do that. 214H doesn't actually work that well against Metera, especially when she has butterfly setups.
Counter hit overhead. And it
hits over the throat there. That's going to be it. Oh, never mind. Doesn't convert up the hit. All of a sudden, this is looking like it could be anyone's game. Yeah, just spears straight through the arrow drain.
I saw the pressure look on good tech.
Yeah, beautiful.
And this looks really, it looks strange because it looks like Dudikoff just doesn't care about when Zeta goes into the air. Maybe because of, lack of an anti or whatever. Just like that. But yeah, that's what I was going to ask, actually. Is he going to start using the DP arrow to kind of keep Zeta out of that air range?
I mean, it's got to be said, though, that when he did React Tech there was a good chance that he took a Universal Overhead, 850%, and then died off the knockdown. Yeah. But he came out on top, and all of a sudden, we are looking like Dudikoff could end up with a run back. Laser beating out the high shot. Terra not quite timing those correctly, but again, now that Break is in, could be anyone's match. Yeah, beautiful kind of hit conversion. It's done until you get all the way to the ground. Nah, combo limit's a bit early. Oh, Universal Overhead, that is going to be dead. We're tied up. Match point.
And that I do kind of like, you know, that mechanic in Granblue where if you do guess on the overhead, you are going to eat damage. You're going to go into the final game, though. One apiece. He's going to take it between Breaker and Dudikoff.
Nice. What an anti-air. Hops over the laser, and that's another thing that you really have to watch out for at those ranges. That is basically only safe to use laser right next to Matera in this matchup.
Yeah.
No, right at full screen, pardon. Not right next to Matera. You're right next to Matera, so forward roll. Yeah, it's basically full screen. But at full screen again, Matera is more than happy just to do jump arrows or high arrows. There goes some good offense going there. It's the overhead. Doesn't convert it into anything, and now Dudikoff's found his way out.
Two Flowers comes out, gonna be on cooldown, but here we go back to the full screen game, but immediately runs straight back in the overhead. Oh, meshed out actually.
Down. Good stuff. Good throw tech, and that's gonna be safe.
Is it?
Yeah, that's very dead. Yeah, finally, full conversion, and Break is dead. Dudikoff will be moving forwards in a very, very close set.
That was really cool between these two. I think that was a good Granblue set to walk into, to be honest. That is, as a Dragon Ball player, it's nice to see people not super dashing everywhere across the screen, and some form of neutral being played. But Zeta just looks like a character that runs at you, like, regardless. I guess it changes.
I mean, no, it's definitely the matchup. That's the thing. Both of those characters are very versatile. They have good anti-zoning, good zoning, good ways to alter their air momentum, and they have really good offense. The only caveat to that is that Matera genuinely has much worse defense, only having a 6-frame button instead of a 5-frame button, and having no access whatsoever to a meterless reversal. So Zeta is a bit more well-rounded in that, in that regard, but at the same time, Zeta also specializes at zoning a little bit more and has butterflies for set play.
Yep.
With that said, though, we've gone out of what happened to be a very good match, and we're going to go straight into Stimoro versus Aravu, so the ex-Gita sisters will be fighting it out, and I think this means we have yet another new Zeta player. Stimoro, I believe, has picked up Zeta and will be playing it this stream.
Stimoro, one of us that you guys poached away. What did Stimoro play before Zeta?
He's been all over the place, but recently it's been a lot of Cagliostro and Soros, but mostly Cagliostro. But as of the last patch, he was hoping for some Cagliostro buffs, didn't get them, was excited for Anre, but then just ended up playing Zeta, because he just wants to fuzzy people, and no character in the game gets to do it as freely as Zeta does, even though still pretty challenging to do it on her as well.
It's funny, because he definitely did it in Dragon Ball, so I don't know why he went away from it in Granblue.
They go for the Nappa restands, man.
But yeah, I again have never seen these two play, but it should be an interesting game between the two. I think they're just getting ready. Let's go! Okay, so I've just seen it in the chat. Can you use voice chat? Is that a thing in Granblue, or am I tripping?
There's no voice chat in Granblue, I don't believe.
So why does Tomorrow just ask?
I have no clue.
Okay, cool.
Oh, no. So you're on about the preset messages?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one that's asking, can you voice chat? I'm assuming that means, like, can you go on PSN Messenger, or can you go on Discord or something? I think that's what they had in mind. Meanwhile, though, they've censored all of the free chat. Like, you can't even say, like, chat, you know. What's some stupid things that you can't say because they'll censor it for no reason? You can't say hello. That's a good example. They'll censor hell.
Pesky kids.
Can't say classy.
Okay, so anything with, like, it just has the bad
there's some really there's so many random ones that don't even make sense. You can't say well played, you can't say player, you can't say button. There's butt in it, I guess.
What can you say? That's the question.
I don't know. You'll just be typing out a regular sentence and half of it will be censored. You'll be like, huh. You have to try and, like, decipher the code. Let them know that we're ready with now. Yeah, thank you so much for all the support so far. We have a nice prediction coming in, who won the waifu matchup. And again, we don't know who tomorrow's going to be playing. He's such a oddball at this point. I'm assuming it'll be a Zeta, though, based on everything that he's told me, Reed. Jita from Arafu, standard. Okay, and yeah, the Zeta.
Alright.
Really interested to see how this develops. Honestly, Arafu's always been an incredibly solid player, and Jita's a good-ass character. This matchup is relatively even as well, like most of the matchups in Granblue at this point. So I think it could go either way. It really comes down to how well developed tomorrow's Zeta is over the past couple of weeks. But getting right into it, yeah. Confirmed straight into the... Oh, never mind. Accidentally goes for the laser, but couldn't have got much of a confirm anyway. And all Tomorrow's doing right here is just prodding about, waiting, trying to bait out a jump, just keeping the spatial advantage, which is exactly what you want to do. No reason to take any risk, and as I say that, he does jump RPS with the spear. Nice, good anti-air.
Down in the corner with the lasers, and here comes Jita. Good mash out there.
Nice DP. Now they're back to mid-screen, but again, Tomorrow being very patient. Always rocking his green skin and beautiful M-Rekka, the classic. Nice, good punish, ready for it. Pulls him out.
Of course, every hit of the Rekka, or every Rekka is unsafe on the block, right?
Yeah, especially if your back's to the corner. In mid-screen at certain spacings, it won't be punishable, but this should be dead. 2 hits into super, and that is the first round going over to Tomorrow. Yeah, it's spacing dependent, but when your back's to the corner, pretty much every one of them is punishable. You just have to look out for the lead Rekka crushing your button.
First game's gonna go Tomorrow's way. I do like the way he's playing the game, choosing to play.
Yeah, beautiful. That's the problem, though. He's obviously setting up the laser to try and bait out a jump situation, but it is still, you know, kind of an RPS situation, as we just saw. Arafu calling him out, getting the super jump, getting the punish. And there, we instantly see Jita's famous fireball RPS coming in. Charge the X fireball, catching the spot dodge, being a little bit too early, and now all of a sudden, Arafu is looking very much in control of this round.
Yeah, really nice confirm with that 2H. Tries to start his pressure, but here, he's in that sweet zone where Tomorrow wants him.
Nice, beautiful. Not letting him get that laser out. Pushing the start up with that M-Rekka. No punish.
Down.
Oh, the mash.
Oh. Spicy mash. Tries to go there. It's 1 apiece now. Final round of this first game. Yeah, oh, that was a sick dodge through there to try and punish Legion. Here's the Jita offense going on.
Yeah, that corner offense is really good. No punish on the Rekka this time. Again, just hearing it gets counter hit by the universal overhead. Was probably going for dodge OS there on the throw. Oh, no conversion.
That's toss as well.
Samara having real trouble getting out of the corner here, and that's going to be a punish that should be dead.
Yeah, that was sick. So he cut the clash, and then he dodged. Like, is that like a regular choice of a clash?
Yeah, it's to bait out. It's to bait out a reversal, basically. He's trying to bait out the SBA. Okay. Obviously, it resulted in a scramble afterwards, but it did go in favor of Arafu, blocking both of those spears.
Tomorrow going to stick to Zeta into game 2, so he's going to be locked into that the entire time. The first hit's going to go Jita's way.
Nice. Jita offense is really going here.
Just slowly chipping away at him.
Oh, no punish.
Out. Oh, was that punishable?
I believe it was. I could be wrong, but it looked like the punish was on point as well, so maybe it wasn't.
Staying at this range.
Nice. And then M-Rekka is so deadly.
Oh, late tech, and then gets punished. And one thing I do like about Arafu, what Arafu's doing, he's staying in that range, and then sort of mixing up whether or not he's gonna jump or go for the Rekka.
Exactly.
Yeah, really nice.
And again, just punishing all of those lasers with M-Rekka, pardon. It's an interesting adaptation. I haven't seen many Jitas doing this against Zeta so far. But then again, most Zetas don't use laser quite as much as Samara has been this set.
Yeah. Oh, confirm off that far L. Gets it this time.
Oh, nice confirm off of that far medium.
So it's not a corner to get combo here. Gets thrown.
Nice, smashes this time, but doesn't get a conversion out of it, and as such, no punish again. Maybe that is spaced enough. That's gonna be dead.
Goodness.
No full animation. A little bit too far, and Samara has to fight for his life. DP's on the throw. Arafu will
Really
be
nice.
moving forwards. Very, very convincing set from Arafu.
Yeah, Arafu looked like he just needed a couple games to get into it, but after that he was just ready to go.
He really had the reads. He adapted quite well.
Stamora looked like he had really good spacing in the first couple games, but I don't know. It does take a lot. Like, it's really mentally taxing to sort of keep something in that range and think about every single option they can do. So I do understand why maybe it fell off towards the end. He's going to go to losers bracket.
All right, so I'm looking at winners round 3, and we've already got some interesting matches lined up. We've got Zeiji Gumius, Dragoi Miri, and Deviant's Bonsai. I want to see Dragoi Miri for sure. I wonder if we've got any Anre gamers that I could look towards. You know what? I'm going to go with Dragoi Miri and Rixter Padu. I haven't seen Rixter Padu in tournament in so long.
Okay, Rixter Padu is one of the only matchups I've actually seen before. From like season 1, season 2. I think that's when Rixter was playing Ferry, Padu was playing Montero at the time, I think.
Yeah, classic matchup. Basically what defined the first season of HAB.
As far as I know, Rixter sold his soul and currently plays Luane.
I think they might be on Anre, or like Padu might be on Vasaraga or Luane or Anre, and then Rixter is probably on Anre or Luane. So a combination of that in some regard. And then we have Dragoi versus Miri. Dragoi is interesting because he usually plays Belial, but he pulled out Luane a couple of times last tournament. And then obviously Miri is sticking with Yule, I believe. And his Yule is very, very nice. Looking forward to watching that play.
Would you say Granblue is the sort of game where you it's incentivized to have multiple characters to fall back on instead of just picking one character to just sort of...
I think like the 20XX of this game will look like that. Like when all of the characters have been released, I think the characters in this game are simple enough that there's no reason that shouldn't happen. Like there'll probably be like a triangle that beats another triangle, and that'll be the meta in the future. But at the moment, I don't think that that's necessarily the case. It's one character. All of them are relatively balanced. Like matchup charts for most characters are relatively flat at the moment, so you can make any of them work. So I don't think there's that much incentive to be doing that right now.
Cool. Well, I think you guys are able to predict now. One of my favorite additions this year.
I love predictions, yeah. I mean, it's a shame though, because a lot of our players come from regions like, well, mostly Sweden, etc. And all of those regions have the gambling locked away from them.
No.
Yeah. Actually pretty
you
sad.
Can't even bet channel points? That sucks.
You know, I respect the intent, but at the same time, it'd be nice to have some of the Swedish gamers, etc., being able to put in the gambas. But we are going to be having an absolute treat of a match now. Jundo, with his Ferry, staying true, but Myth, similarly, also staying true to his Percy. And this is the first Percy we've seen in a very long time, other than Virum, I believe, who we saw last week. And I'm very excited to see this. It's not every day we get to see Myth in tournaments, so let's see how this goes.
That color is beautiful.
Ooh. Spot dodging and getting hit by the GG almost straight away. And again, getting clipped by GG. 2 hits already and he's back to the corner.
This is what I remember from Granblue.
Nice.
Stifling off his preferred, but great mash out there from...
2U. I mean, honestly, Percival's 2U. All of his buttons are great, but I feel like his 2U doesn't get enough love. Nice. For the install combos.
Yo, it still looks beautiful to me. Even though I hate the character, it still looks so
I love
so
Fairy,
cool.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously, I get the benefit of being a TO and a commentator and not actually having to play the game. So I get to say wholeheartedly that I love characters like Fairy and Matera, you know? Everyone complaining, I'm just like, man, these characters are tight.
So, as we watch Percy try a man on things, what do you think the win condition is to this person if he wants to?
Well, for this matchup particularly, the one thing that usually ends up happening with Percival is his Fireball RPS. But the issue with that is that Ferry actually has a really good 2U to trade out with those Fireballs. Yeah. But, as I'm seeing right now, Percival is really good up close. If he gets those stocks, he can generate a lot of plus frames, and he has that command throw. So the way to beat Ferry, in my opinion, is just going to be to get up close. He also has some really good buttons for crushing her stuff, though, and that is not going to be a fast enough punish on that drill. So the first match will be going over to Jundo. Just gonna have to tighten things up, but you know what? I can see the engine starting to chug. It's getting there. That started to tighten up towards that end of that round.
You know, when he did get towards the corner, it did look promising, but the DP sort of ended any hope of all of that. We'll get in the second game, Myth. I do want to see Myth shine.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm a big fan of Percy, but we never get to see him in Europe anymore. We had so many Percy players back in the day, but no longer. I will also point out that I believe that Jundo taunted in the middle of that round, but I'm going to assume that was a misinput on throw. Nice, there we go. Big buttons, got that crushes. And what we're seeing right now is something that you won't be familiar with, because you said that you remember being bullied by Ferry. But yeah, her drill basically hits twice now and can generate plus frames. So a big part of this matchup is now recognizing situations where the drill isn't plus.
Okay.
And also stopping her from doing it, like, you know, predicting or reacting to the jumps with DPs. Ursula being one of the better characters in the game at doing it, but Jundo low crushing that the command dash low from Percival. I've not seen that before. It's good use of drill.
Jundo's getting a lot of mileage out of that drill.
For sure, honestly. I mean, his use of drill this set has been impeccable, and back in the day, that was 50%. Nice! What a counter hit confirmed. Getting that close heavy. Drops the combo, but the scramble afterwards goes in his favor. One more touch will do it. For either player, really. Jundo with a mash. Does not care, but EX low catches him. Oh, what are you thinking?
I kind of see where this matchup goes now, but I'm kind of confused as to why Jundo is sort of actually going in. It's a bit confusing. But...
Jundo loves drill. I will say that. But basically, most of the Ferry players, we saw Breaker wasn't playing it earlier. A lot of the Ferry players that left, like Rickster and Breaker, etc., they're not a fan of Ferry's new identity, which is surrounding drill quite a bit.
Okay.
But Jundo's fully embraced it, man, as we can see. Getting up close and personal, getting those plus frames quite often.
DP baited though. Full punish. Take him to the corner.
Nice. Beautiful punish on that command throw. Now back to the mid screen.
This is what I remember. Stand back and wait. But I see the drill now being used a lot. Okay, it makes sense.
And not only that, though, obviously Ferry also has the Vine Whip that can keep her at the top of the screen. So she has, like, multiple layers of RPS, too, her jumps. It is, weirdly, one of her better tools.
She just seems to fight out of the corner really well. Maybe that's just...
Yeah. No, both Ferry and Jundo. Obviously, you have the issue of her not having the fastest Abares, and her DP is 11 frames, so it's relatively slow. But she has a great 2U, and she also has access again to those drills and Vine Whips, so you can get out of the corner really relatively easily. Okay, chip point, and that's it, yeah. Beautiful Myth tying it up, and the engine is well and truly revving at this point.
You really see he's starting to get, you know, his moments of getting in, but also he's starting to punish, you know, these options Ferry's choosing to use, right? The dive kick especially. We saw him get a really big counter hit combo in that game. But we're going to go to another game 3 to see who takes it.
Loving to see the patience so far. Like, Myth adapted really well just by noticing that Jundo is really going aggressive quite a lot, and he's just taking a step back, waiting for Jundo to swing a miss. And yeah, beautiful conversion. I'm not sure if you're aware, but like, if you get a counter hit in the air in this game, they're basically locked in hit stun until they hit the ground. So that's why we can see juggles like that in this game, and I love it, man. Again, this is like a 2D game, but they take certain things from anime, just like that.
Got hit by the GG on the ground.
Yeah, going for that low. Now, all of a sudden, it's looking like it could be anyone's game. Both these characters have really good confirms into SPA. Specifically, if like we see Jundo go for a GG in neutral, we could see the SPA come out from Percival as a punish. But similarly, the SSPA from Ferry could be all it takes to end this round out.
And Jundo actually opting to not drill in, looking for GG.
Oh, gets the drill, doesn't get a confirm off of it. But, nonetheless, both of these players looking very close to chip point. Unfortunately, Jundo is not quite there. He is one hit away. That's why we can not seeing Myth, you know, just Hail Mary anything right now. He still has to be very intentional to get him out of that chip point. But ends up getting clipped by the ball in a very unfortunate situation. Don't love to see it, because now Jundo's at match point from... I can't even imagine what caused that hit, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, you can block it in the air, right? Or...
Yeah, it sets up air unblockable situations, obviously, because you're stuck in the air. But yeah, you definitely can air block that, so... Just an unfortunate misinput, I'm assuming. Regardless, yeah, Ferry getting in, hits the drill, and goes for the throw.
Been doing that so much, jumps over the projectile and chooses to drill in while he's running after the projectile. Really nice option there from Jundo.
Myth having a really hard time approaching at the moment, and it's probably, honestly, what's happening, giving Jundo the edge. Earlier we were seeing Myth being, very willing to be patient, but we're seeing that just as he adapted, so has Jundo. Jundo's now just saying, well, if you're not going to approach, neither am I. And I'm perfectly happy as the Fairy to be setting a full range. One more hit will do it, gets the EX low. Ah, there we go. Jump back, JM. Ending it out. Jundo. Yeah, Jundo moving forward.
And one thing I really like to see there is Jundo was, so I think Jundo got stuffed by the fireball in the game that he lost quite a bit. Then he started to do jump back drill, and then he was just doing jump back nothing. Sort of mixing up Myth on his Myth on his incoming options, and I really like that you can choose to do that as Fairy. Definitely a completely different character to what I remember. But
yeah, very RPS heavy with those jumps now.
Still gonna get the win. We're gonna go to the next game.
Again, a lot of people don't like that because they like to play Fairy a little bit more meticulously, but if you can get down with the brawls that the new Fairy introduces, it's a very fun character. At least to watch. Can't speak about playing against it as I've not played against many Fairies since the patch.
It looks like hell, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fun. I don't know, there are plenty of characters that enforce RPS in this game, but it's not like Fairy has the best time up close, and if she gets a read wrong, she does get punished for it more than most characters, obviously having less defense available to her than other characters in the game. I think the dynamic's kind of fun, but again, it's definitely far from, it's a big departure from what Fairy used to be. I can understand Fairy players that aren't exactly happy with it. It has pretty much completely shifted the design of the character.
So in the gaping hole left by where Fairy used to be, is there anyone else who's sort of taken that spot?
As the premier zoner?
Yeah.
Ooh, weirdly, no. I mean, we have a couple of new characters who are making a pretty good shot at it. I mean, Luane zoning is pretty much up there as one of the best now. Henri also looks like he has pretty good zoning. And the Matera players have been on a slaughter right now, but I'd struggle to say that she's the premier zoner in the game. I honestly, a lot of the characters in this game, if they want to be good, they have to be flexible. And I feel like all of the characters that zone tend to be relatively flexible. Henri has the parries, Matera has good offense with butterflies when she gets it going. Luane obviously has his Oki and stuff like Yggdrasil to rely on. So, I don't feel like any one character in the game is defined by zoning. They usually have zoning plus X, as opposed to... And then they usually do something like a reversal or something along those lines as a result of it.
And I think we're just
everyone's been very patient. I'm not gonna lie. I've had to remind everyone to go this week.
I'm so surprised because in Dragon Ball they get into the lobby and immediately start, regardless of even if you're not spectating. So shout out to you Granblue players for being.
I mean, no, they usually do. No idea what's going on this week. They're being very patient. But yeah, okay. So going into this, we have Rickster up against Padu. A very classic matchup, but on characters that I don't think we've seen them play against each other in tournament yet. Padu with his Vasaraga, and Rickster sticking with the low end. No Henri this week.
I remember Vasaraga, not like when, I started, loads of people didn't really think he was that good, and I think, was it Fame? Fame who really put him on the map.
Yeah, he's a good example. I mean, honestly, Vasaraga has been rising for a lot of reasons. But in EU, we've basically always been starved for good Vasaragas. Back in the day, we had Prower and Banders. We still have Prower about somewhat, I believe, but I believe he's got other things that he's concentrating more on. But it would be lovely to see Padu attending again, because Vasaraga is a sick character, man, but we did not get to see any representation. And this is how you know that Padu is a low-aim player, not getting hit by Iggy whatsoever. A perfect clear of that Iggy. Just past Mario Party. Rickster does have the English dub on. I have a mod on that's turning it off. I'm sorry, boys.
What?
Yeah. I couldn't put up with the English setters, man. It was too much for me.
He's gonna get the throw. And here he's just standing back, calling the bros, but here comes Vasaraga.
Ooh, okay, wow.
Ooh.
Very close first round, and a brilliant example of both players understanding this matchup.
Yeah.
Quite nice. I mean, these two practice against each other quite a bit, so it doesn't surprise me that much that they have knowledge of each other's characters. Especially Padu on the Luane side, as he does play a lot of Luane on it by himself, and there you go. Getting counter hit by that stance is 50%, but Padu's ended up with his back to the corner, jumping out with that JL. All of a sudden, his offense is dying. And again, exact same on the other end. They're just taking turns in the corner.
He's just jumping out and leaving at will and blocking him down. Ooh. Hit by Okay, is this dead? No, not dead, but gets one hit.
Yeah, one more good conversion and he'll be dead. But again, honestly, I'm surprised. Yeah, we're probably just going to see this come down to Iggy. Can he clear it?
I mean, he has the experience, right? It should be fine.
Yeah, but one slip up and it's all over.
Is this a slip up? Oh,
nah, he's just going for the chip at this point, trying to get him as far out as he possibly can. And now he's at chip point.
Yep, and he'll do it. He's throwing away. Oh,
what the hell is that? Yeah, what is Bass supposed to do in that situation? This matchup was relatively cursed purely on the fact that Lowain, unironically, has some of the best zoning in the game. And one of the key points of that is that rockets fire multiple shots, boys fire multiple shots, that goes through a lot of Vasaraga's armor. But also, his backdash is so incredibly fast that once Vasaraga gets in, Lowain can just run off. But here we go, Lowain mirror.
Oh no. Do you know what? I love Lowain as a character. I hate watching Lowain play because there's so much visual noise going on. It can be tough to know what's going on. But we're going to get Lowain mirrors in game number 2. Rick's the up one.
Oh no, oh no, it is, yeah. I always get them confused because they're both Lowain players, man. But yeah, Rick's is up 1. Let's see if we can take this.
Oh my goodness. I honestly, I don't know how either of them are supposed to approach it. I just call your shit before they can.
I mean, Lowain honestly is really good in pretty much most aspects at the moment. Like I was saying before, they tend to have relatively well-rounded character bases, but Lowain these days has good footsies and good zoning. So it's interesting to see them just going in. They're just rolling it out. I want to see if there's any double Iggies though. That'd be interesting.
Wait, what happens?
It could happen. It's basically the person who calls Iggy first loses.
Oh, okay, I see.
Both players, you know, fully aware of that though, so there probably is going to be no double Iggy, but you'd love to see it for the memes. Nice! Falling with the button to hit out that goon. Rickster was obviously assuming that the goon was going to catch him out of the air, but no, Padu. Nice adaptation to that. Nice and quick in defeat.
We've actually seen him like being hitting. He's been hitting the boys since game 1 with Vasararo, doing it again now. Rickster on the offense.
Nice. Is it that forward jump to bait out the throw?
To get something from this, boys. Oh, he threw before the boy came.
Nice, good parry. No spot dodge. Rickster probably committed to another button at that point.
Was that counter hit to get reset?
Okay. Schools and the boys and eats up. Honestly, again, because both of these characters are particularly good at zoning, another thing to mention about Lowain zoning is that he has the access to the food. And the more he eats, the more HP and meter he gets to build. And sometimes you can see like double Iggy.
Isn't it random? What he gets off the,
yeah, it's random if he gets HP or meter. And then it's random how much he gets from it, basically. Whoa!
Okay, huh?
That's a bit of a curse confirmed, but leading up with a nice one off of the H Catalina bot. And yeah, clashing to air throw is actually really common for these characters, right?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that if they both use Awesome Source, they clash in the air, and then they're flung at each other. And then the fastest button is air throw coming out at 2 frames, which will be anything including jump light. So it's basically a guaranteed throw clash at that point. Are we going to see the Anray?
These guys are... that game was a blur. That moved very, very quickly. I think Rick's going to be switching off. I don't know what is the answer to Lowain. Like,
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've seen many Lowain mirror, first to 5, first to 10 between these two players. And Padu always comes out on top.
Okay.
So I respect it.
Off, right?
Yeah, it's in the ferry. The old classic. Man, this is interesting. The first event where both of these players have signed up in, months. And they get each other in winners round 3.
Let's see if Rickster plays it anywhere similar to what he was doing before.
Yeah, I think his ferry is going to look a little bit more like the old ferry that we're used to. But luckily, Lowain is one of the characters that some of her changes, that negatively impacted her, aren't, as prevalent against with Lowain, for example, not having access to a DP. He would have to go into stance situations. But stance is pretty good at, against UG setups, for example, though.
I do like that. Keep him locked down in the corner.
Nice. Both of these characters using their blessed 2Us. The multiple hits from that hoop. Getting out. Okay, going straight into the Iggy.
And now it's Rix's turn. Do you have the knowledge?
I mean, Ferry has the air. Ferry has a cheap answer to it. And of course, Rixton knows about getting hit by the rocks. No punish.
I mean, he'll take that though. Like one hit.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
It's a pretty good Iggy. Well. I'm surprised we didn't see Lowen run back there and try to get a bit of eating going on. But at the same time, if there's any character that's going to be able to stop you from zoning him out, it's going to be Ferry. One H-whip and this round's over, you know?
And it's takes the opportunity to get in.
Nice, good confirm, wow.
Oh, he's actually bringing this one back. Good anti-air.
Potentially. Ferry still has supers available. Oh, what's EX Awesome Source? This is all of a sudden looking very scary. JL completely whiffing though. I was also really surprised that we didn't see Rixter go for the classic like MGG into Bull Super. Obviously, I don't think Lowen has many good ways to punish at full screen against GG calls. Awesome Source is fast, but it's not as fast as like Boot and stuff.
Okay, it's gonna be grip damage. Set up.
Nice, good DP.
Rixter doesn't block him now.
One more round and he takes it, but as we saw, that round that looked almost completely in Rix's hands was very close. Can't right pad about. One more hit, or is he going to go into HPA? No, just going for the setup. Running back, and is he going to try the unblockable? He is! And Rixton knows. Okay, so that situation is unblockable because that hit there, I believe, is an unblockable, but what ends up happening is you get clipped by it, and then you get the combo after because of the, well, not the combo, but you basically get put into a screwed up situation because of the rockets afterwards. They keep you in hit stun afterwards. So you get a guaranteed hit after the HPA gets blocked.
What is this game?
Honestly, Louis, it's sick, man.
That was really cool, but I'm very confused.
That's the first time I got to get that shown off on stream, though.
Just threw out a bunch of shit and then said, yeah, I win.
Yeah, it's match point now, though. It's anyone's game. This isn't going to be an unblockable, I don't believe. We get hit by the overhead. Spot dodge to the low, spot dodge to the low. Oh. Good reactions, and there we see Padu trying to spot dodge to fake out the low. But Rixter, again, he knows his stuff. I'm not scared of the HPA. Nice! Slow crushes with the drill! Oh, tries to go for the side switch. Is it going to be enough? Gets the throw. One more touch will do it for either player. But that's it. H-whip. Rixter is going to be moving forwards.
That was really nice from Rixter. That was a really enjoyable set between the two. Definitely showcasing their knowledge of, well, I guess all the characters that were playing in those games.
I mean, that's also very player matchup heavy, obviously. These players have played against each other a lot.
Yeah, you can tell.
Very fun to watch, though. Always a privilege. Next up, we're going to be having Blau Brother number 3, Dragoy up against Miri. Which, again, should be another great match.
I will say Bilal, definitely my favorite character to watch in Granblue. He's a very exciting character. I remember we had, we had the stream where we sat and talked about it. Definitely, well, I say he was stronger from everything that you told me. But still, definitely a very strong character.
Sure.
As far as I know.
Miri playing Yule, which is no slouch either. And specifically, I believe that matchup is a really interesting one. I believe that Belial is like Yule's worst matchup. If not, it's close. Because Belial has some unique punishing tools that make the matchup a little bit more skewed than others. On the side of Yule. But at the same time, both of these characters have a ton of reversals, tons of situations that they can set up, RPS and whatnot. And they're both strong characters, and strong players as well. So there's really no way to predict this one ahead of time. There we go. The Granblue players, they're getting right into it.
That's a great name. Number 1 Peter fan. I really like that. Yeah, this is going to get into it. So I do know, I guess a fair bit about Bilal. What should I know about you all?
Will has effectively 4 reversals, 3 if you're not counting stats auto parry. But basically, her entire design is about setting up slightly minus or slightly plus situations so she can put you into RPS/guess situations. She also has, similar to Belial's Far Heavy, being a forward approaching 2-hit move like we saw there. She has Far Medium, which is effectively the same thing but a little bit faster, and a really good whiff punish tool, really good way to set up her RPS, stuff like that. Her stance is an auto parry that will automatically parry mids, but it will lose to overheads, throws, and lows. But she has like swat dodge, RPS, and offense set up that will basically mitigate that and just put you into guessing situations more often than not. There is no chip when you block it though. So if someone's blocking it in the corner, for example, it is just a matter of time before she pushes herself out. And she doesn't have good movement in it. She's basically forced to like forward hop or back hop. So if you can just block it pretty patiently. And right there, she also has a dive kick, a great way to alter her air momentum. Not quite as good as Bilal's, but still pretty good. We saw that stance medium getting whiffed there. That's an intentional media setup basically. And he opts to go out of the stance there to try and go for a throw. But Dragoi knows his stuff, gets the punish, and takes the first round. Good showing from him so far.
Really good in that first game. So you can continue it. And I do see what you mean by the sort of very little minus frames which she's choosing to RPS.
There you go, you saw the auto parry there as well. And yeah, so for example, right there, that's slightly plus, for example, but then she has a DP, she has frame 1 invulnerable like step, that she can then cancel any of these options as well into her stance. So yeah, she's definitely tricky like that, but she doesn't have the best combo damage to make up for it. Off of a specific hit, she can do quite a bit, but for the most part, her combos are relatively short. So she tries to basically whittle down the enemy with repeated reads and conditioning. And Miri is shooting that he's very, very good at it so far, but Dragoi, no slouch either.
On the offense, that was great hit. That was counter.
Trained super, okay. Setting up the HP for a throw.
Alright, it's a mix.
That's another thing as well, though, is that her jumping heavy has multiple hits.
Oh.
Nice, beautiful example of her using that fire medium. Forward approaching, so great with punish tool. But yeah, her jump heavy is also 2 hits, so kind of like Lancelot. She has some falling, you know, am I going to do 1 hit into low? Am I going to do 2 hit overhead? Stuff like that. That other characters don't necessarily have access to. There you go, whiffing it again, going for the 2M, but the guy saying, nah, I'm out of here. And again, the second hit of that far heavy is -5 for Bilal, but Bilal is the only character in the game that can actually punish it because of his 2L being 5 frames and bigger than other characters. Again, slightly plus. That's the thing, because the dive kick is slightly plus. You can never combo off of it. But Dragoi obviously also has access to DPs, etc. So all of these RPS situations that can favor you well, you know, she's putting you in a situation where she can condition you. If you're a player like Dragoi, obviously you have reversals as well, so it's an RPS situation. There's always a chance that you can guess offensively with those reversals yourself.
He's built out all of these, you know, post-on mix-ups.
Yeah. He understands the matchup quite well, as Miri was a Bilal player for quite a while, one of the better ones in Europe. Nice, what a confirm. Ooh, no kill! Chip situation though, and there you go, yeah. Had to commit to the SSBA, otherwise that was, you know, game over.
And we'll see the first game going Bilal's way. This matchup does seem very tricky. It seems like UL is just always looking, like she doesn't seem like she capitalizes off the hits as well as Bilal does.
Oh no, definitely not. But at the same time, she has to give this up. You see the fact that she got to take away 2 turns there and then DPs. The second it's Bilal's turn. That's what UL's all about. Constantly making your opponent have to check themselves. Obviously, Dragoi getting his offense starting, doing the whiff. Pinwheel set up, gets that throw. And Bilal pressure is nasty, man. Beautiful stuff from Dragoi so far. Good DP again. Keeping that in check. Nice, auto parries the far heavy.
Oh, no,
that is a problem, though, because, you know, you get the air counter hit, but that doesn't apply on multiple hits, because obviously the second hit in the air will overwrite the counter hit property.
I see.
Yeah, so her jumping confirms aren't that great as a result of her jumping normals being multi-hit for the most part. Nice, good combo. Going for the meaty Fox setup. That is, again, slightly plus. Going straight into the SSBA, and okay, Miri staying alive in a round that looked very Dragoi favored.
Really liking some of the adjustments he's making.
For sure.
Like, he just seems like he's really on it, like with the auto power as well.
Yeah, I'm honestly really surprised at how well he's been utilizing the stance so far. We haven't been seeing much stance pressure because, again, there isn't that much threat to it, but he's been getting great use out of the meaty setups and the auto parry.
Plus.
Again, right there, that's another example of RPS, because you see when she hops back like that, usually she will hop forwards and do a hit, but you also have the option to cancel into stance when you hop back, at which point, yeah, like that. It's just a way to generate space. She has plenty of options from that stance. One of them can basically dash her across the screen, and that's a pretty common option to beat out someone going for, like, Droit. But obviously, Bilal not having access to any of that doesn't really get to play into it. And there we go. Oh, never mind. Like I said earlier, when you get the 2H, if both of them hit, it's a slight problem. because it'll overwrite the counter hit property. So no confirm coming out of Miri there.
It's starting to make a lot more sense why we're seeing a lot of jumps.
Nice.
Wow, that was really nice.
Mine getting blocked. I thought that was high up enough. Turns out it wasn't. I'm pretty sure that Miri was trying to call out a JU on the part of Dragoi, and that is another reason why we're seeing so many jumps, is because Belial has access to that JU. Altering his air momentum and setting up offense at the same time is a really powerful tool. But, guessed wrong. And didn't end up getting that punish. Nice! What a jump! Dash super jump the entire screen. Gets the corner combo. Which again, basically her corner combos, she doesn't get much unless she and the opponent are spaced away when she uses her, like, forward dash. If she basically gets her spacing on that, she can get a lot more sauce, and we saw it just there. Beautiful conversion from Miri.
Seems like a lot of caveats for her to actually do well, but...
It's a little bit more simpler when you get your hands on her. But it's a lot for someone to have to process when they're hearing it for the first time, basically. And that's her whole point, is that she tries to overload you with multiple situations that force you to make a decision very quickly. And that's what the character's all about, basically, is just conditioning and setting up situations like that that make it very hard to defend. And Dragoi, not getting overwhelmed, though.
Yeah, Dragoi looked like he knew his stuff.
For sure. Great showing from Dragoi. Great showing from Miri as well, keeping those sets very close, but just getting slightly edged out.
I'm not gonna lie, I look at Yuang, in my eyes, maybe, you know, I'm completely wrong. She looks like a bit of a, I'm not gonna say gimmicky character, but sort of, the more you know, the worse it is for you. Like,
yeah, if they can get into your head, like, obviously, it is and it isn't, because all of these situations are guesses, which, you know, can put a lot on your mental stack, but at the same time, it means that all of her offense is conditioned to guesses. So there's still a chance that you guess right and her offense does nothing. Which isn't necessarily always the case for other characters, who can have much more direct ways to apply very favorable situations, whereas, again, she's usually trying to force you into a situation where you have to make a decision, and then she guesses right on that decision. But obviously, she also has a bunch of ways to generate plus frames and keep her offense going if you're being too respectful. But that was not a problem for Dragoi.
Yeah.
Dragoi being definitely on his toes. Next match is going to be Navia versus Deviants, though. Matchup that I've not seen in a very long time either, but one ex-Cheetah player, who I believe is now playing Belial still. I don't think he's moved over to Anre. And Navia, who is sticking true to his Cheetah.
I had the pleasure of watching of his Cheetah. It was definitely an enjoyable experience, and he's one of those players that I think, like, can really get going if you give him, you know, enough time to, you know, sort of run over you. But I'm not sure that the Deviants is going to give him any of that, to be honest. Yeah,
for sure. After that, we are going to be seeing Trikiza versus Rampin, which I believe was last week's grand final. All the way in winners' quarters, so should be an interesting one.
There's a lot of hitters in this.
Yeah, for sure.
Out there, yeah.
But Deviants Navia is a really interesting matchup. These players have historically had quite a lot between their matches. So I'm going to be interested to see who brings this one back. I didn't think Deviants was going to be attending today. At least he told me that he was having stick issues, but seems like he made it. Not sure if he managed to sort that out or not. But regardless, should be getting into it when they're nice and ready. Someone in the room is called Zeiji, but knowing Deviants, that probably is him. So
okay, that makes me real hard, because I saw someone in the chat called Zeiji, someone in the bracket called Zeiji, someone in the room called Zeiji, and they're not playing Navia right now. So I was definitely getting mixed by that. Nice one. Good
Zeiji's everywhere, man. Yeah, okay, so we're getting into the match. I'm assuming this is Deviants, just trying to bully the poor TO with, you know, that gets easily confused. But with any luck, it definitely looks like it's Deviants, and it's going to be Deviants' Belial up against Navia's Cheetah, a classic matchup.
Yeah. This is all about who can get into their zones. Zones of effect first, to be honest. Can Cheetah get to that 2M range, but already Deviants starting off.
Yeah, where are the Gambas, boys? Get some Gambas up, mods. Beautiful stuff, getting the close heavy anti-air again. That's the preferred anti-air for Cheetah in situations where you can reliably respond to it, and there we go. You know what we were talking about before when we were watching the VOD of Navia against Dragoi, I believe, saying that, you know, just block the HDP, not on Navia's book. He's got those reactions on clock. Walks back, avoiding that throw, confirms straight into far medium SBA. That should be the first round, going over to Navia. Off of, frankly, just two good anti-airs with close heavy into a whiff throw. Punish.
Yep. Two really good anti-airs, bait the DP. All of it from there. And I remember they talking extensively about whether or not you should be trying to let the DP rock or interrupt it in the middle of it.
Yeah, like we came to the consensus that it's best universally to block, H and LDP, and then anti-air the MDP because it's much more noticeable. But Nivea saying, screw that, I can react to the Super Flash. Not the Super Flash, the EX Flash. Close heavy anti-airs that straight out of the sky.
Good luck on that JH.
And again, no MDP, man. Can't get away with that against Nivea.
And like he's gotten so much value off of it. I think I don't know if DVS should be going to that well anymore. Taking a big chunk of health. Knock down the corner plus frames.
Great pressure so far with that EX Wrecker. No punish coming out from Deviant. A little bit scared. Is at the point where the final one would have killed him. And no anti-air this time. Getting the counter hit with that MDP. Goes straight into the SPA in the damage. One more hit should do it. Surely this isn't going to kill.
There's no way.
Good stuff. But one more touch will do it. Both players having access to pretty much all of their cooldowns. Eyeball coming up for Deviants now. No supers available. Just trying to chip him down.
Yep.
Nivea not messing about with any of the RPSs, but Deviant's on the ball. Flicks that fireball up and catches the jump out from Nivea. Fireball RPS, very strong from both of these characters, man.
And look, he just wants to keep her at this range or get close, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Deviant, like I said before when watching that Dragoi VOD, he's a lot more in the nice, beautiful dashes forwards. Predicts the spot, predicts the DP. Yeah, it's not quite the OS, it's a different situation, but Deviant's obviously having the confidence to go for that read there. Leaving him in a very good spot. Looks like he should be able to close this one out unless something goes pretty horribly wrong. But as we saw earlier, two anti-airs. Nah, never mind. Nivea looking really, really solid in that first round, but Deviant's quickly catching back up. Sending it back in his favor. But this is definitely anyone's game.
I said Deviant should go away from that well because he's been anti-aired so many times. He got one hit and it did chunks of damage. So I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like maybe the risk reward's not as skewed as we thought. But Nivea seems really on the ball, so I don't think it's something that you're going to be able to get away with, you know, very often.
Oh, that's a jump. With the two from Bilal. And that's going to be counter hit. Just gets knocked down.
Beautiful, that should be dead.
Time. Yeah.
Oh, drops it. Drops the punish as well. This is why you just block it. Would have had a guaranteed kill. But again, Nivea was such a huge health lead. I'm sure he's not stressing too much right now. Trying to keep himself nice and patient, waiting for Nivea to, waiting for Deviants to do something. Misses the punish on the parry whilst teabagging. I'm not sure again if that was him intentionally teabagging, or if it was him complaining about the connection, or if it was just him more than likely than not buffering super to beat out that fireball. But regardless, nice end to the round. Missing that punish on the parry, but instantly closing it out nonetheless. There are layers to it. We have no idea if that was actual teabagging or not. But you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Deep spot dodging and gets away with it against the MDP. The MDP getting blocked after that.
Well, edging him towards the corner, this is where you don't want to be.
Yeah, it's a very rough spot for Jeter, especially because you see that Deviants is just stepping back. Nice and patient, but Nivea finding the spot regardless to get that dash super jump. Yeah, that was exactly why Deviants was backing up. Was to make sure that Nivea couldn't do that, but because he was spending so much time throwing out active hurt boxes with those jumps. Oh, reset! SBA reset into counter hit. Again, knowing that Deviants was more than likely mashing to try and punish the SBA into throw. Getting that counter hit, you know, the new layer to the Nivea SBA, yeah.
Is that intentional?
Well, regardless. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I know that he spent quite a long time mulling over those situations. And he knows that Deviant is going to be mashing, understanding that, you know, there's no reason for him to not do that against Jita, but getting caught, mashing the wrong button, a counter hit from the air into SBA, and this is looking like a very convincing round for Nivea, but as we saw earlier, it only takes one hit, and this is a gone health bar.
Yeah, Jita shits out damage when she gets a clean hit like that.
So does Bilal though, and now that his DP'd his way out of there, one more touch could do it. Nice, checking in with the 2M, no confirm.
From that range, that 2-0 is such a pain point because it's so you know, the range is so good in it. He gets punished.
Man throw. punishing Nivea for being a little bit too respectful, but... Oh, checking him twice, no conversion, but gets the delayed record nonetheless. Very risky, as SPA would have been his life. Oh, nice. Gets the 2U underneath that fireball, hitting the extended hurt box. What you love to see, and then similarly, Nivea getting that button straight into the wrecker, blocks the DP, and getting the optimal punish, taking him all the way to the corner. Doesn't have any cooldowns to finish it off with, can't even get the MDP. But regardless, doesn't have enough cooldowns again to go into the super, but it does not matter. Goes for the throw, and Nivea will be moving forwards for Deviants getting sent to the losers bracket in a tight series.
That was a really swift gameplay. Like it's sort of the duality of Granblue, right? You can have these really, really long drawn out games or these really, really fast paced, big hit games going on, but Deviants comes out with a loss. And so we were talking about a lot, whether it's better to, block or, punish it. And Nivea, I think the most important thing is Nivea picked one and stuck with it the entire way, right? He said, okay, I'm going to try and be on the ball to beat the CP every single time. Worked out enough times.
Yeah, like it's definitely reactable, but at the same time, it's not something that you need to necessarily put on your mental stack on top of everything else that you have to worry about. But Nivea saying, nah, I've got the reactions, man. I know this matchup. I'm ready for it. And he punishes pretty much all of them. I think there was 2 that ended up getting through. Not necessarily. One of them turned into a counter hit, which is the opposite of what you want. But the other one just ended up in a bit of a scramble. Regardless, Nivea does come out on top. And the take home for me on that one was the SBA into reset close heavy.
Yeah.
Understanding that Deviants is going to be mashing, but usually you want to be mashing super on the part of, the defender in that situation. So, obviously, there's a risk to it as well. But understanding that if Nivea's resetting, he's probably going for that throw or that counter hit is why you want to be mashing out a reversal. But at the same time, then it just becomes another layer. Nivea can just reset and block. It's really interesting, honestly. I need to get in the lab with some fellas and actually fully explore a situation, because Nivea clearly knows something that other people don't.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to go for the end and go for damage, and take whatever Oki he gets, but yeah, just pulled out and reset out of his arse and managed to get in the win. We're going to see, ooh. I believe this is Dolph going up against...
This is Fampen, Trikiza, which again was last week's Grand Finals, and 2 of our top attendees. They're ranked 1st and 3rd, I believe. Regardless, Sora's coming out from Svampen. Not what we usually see, but used to seeing his Zeta. But if he's made it this far with his Soras, should be an interesting one. Oh, this isn't Svampen? This is actually Dolph this time. Okay, got ya. Okay, so never mind, this is indeed Dolph. I mean, I've seen Svampen cosplaying as him a couple of times in the lobbies and even in the tournament once or twice. But if this is actually Dolph, this should be interesting. He's got a really mean Soras.
This seems like a really common option when you get someone in the corner in Granblue. You just stand at the range where they can't jump out and force them to make a decision, and see Dolph doing it now. Look at that.
There we go. Sorry for getting that mixed up. It's hard to tell because before, in the past, Vampen has entered underneath that pseudonym and has actually been playing as himself. But this is indeed Dolph. Now Maya getting that offense going, keeping those plus frames, and all of this time it's really hard for Soros to get out of that because his supers and his 5U aren't the best reversals, but ending it with that 63H. Very fast, forward approaching, hits the air. It's a great button.
We get into game number 2. Dash forward. Takes plus frames. Yeah, staying in that range where she just can't jump out.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. I mean, Soros is a really interesting character because he can set up a lot of situations where, again, you're forced into making a reaction or a guess very quickly. And it comes down to the players to be ready, not only with their answers, but also to hit / block confirm what happens with the Soros. Because if Soros gets the hit, his offense continues. If it gets blocked, it's usually over. But it happens so quickly that a lot of players end up giving Soros more turns than they're supposed to. Beautiful media setup, gets the throw.
Yeah, really cool, actually. We get 1 round back, and then we're going to go to the last game. Last round in this first game, sorry. Like, does Namaya have anything specific against Soros that she should be looking towards?
Not really. I guess you could try and DP dash bunch. But again, it's everything that Soros does is so fast that it's a lot about just understanding when it is that you want to take your risk and when it is that you don't. Because as you're about to see, Soros hurts. setting up the air reset situation into the meaty geyser. Takes the DP, and that's what we were saying. We're looking for that, basically. You have to be very intentional on choosing your spot when you're going to go for that reversal. Sora's, again, not having the access to the best reversals in the game, but like I just said before, that is a plus. But he just goes for the 63H. Pretty much understanding that he thinks Strikeza is going to be a little bit too respectful, because it's very hard. It's very overwhelming to actually be able to react on time to a lot of Sora's stuff. A lot of players struggle with it at the very least, because it's a lot to work with.
Can get into the second game.
Nice. Jumping over that M punch, but again, the health lead just very slightly in Narmaya's favor. Getting that DP, and I'm liking the new approach that we're going for there. Yeah, so that's a stance, basically, and that is a real RPS situation, because he can choose to hold that, or he can choose to buff up, and it'll do like a reversal push out. And that then puts Strikey's in a situation where he guesses on if he's going to bait it with swat dodge, or if he's going to just keep his offense going, basically.
Yeah,
look at this. Being so patient, but gets the conversion into the super. It's dead. Sora's damage is huge. It isn't quite, though.
One hit.
Okay, chip point. And then, yeah, goes with the 63H so fast.
I see a bet in chat, and I'm definitely on a... Oh, not a bet, sorry, a vote. I'm definitely on a vote.
Whose chest is more impressive? That's a good one. That's a good gambler. It's not even a gambler, it's just a poll. But respect to whoever set that poll up. That's kind of clean.
Oh my god, she's playing! Bloody hell!
Damage coming out. There we go. Getting the mash.
Counter hit. Good confirm. Throw into the corner.
Another throw again. That's punishable. Doesn't end up getting the kill though. Sora's might not have the best punishing options for that. His Firelight is a little bit short, going for that low, but that is it. Strikeza tying up this round, but oh, still sitting at that beautiful match point.
Battle 3, engage.
And just to clarify, chat, is this actually Svampin underneath an alter ego, or is there someone else playing, you know, locally with Svampin?
What are you guys doing to your poor TO?
I know, man. I'm so confused at this point. It is Svampin. Okay, I thought so. But he wants to be going with this Dolph persona. Gotcha.
You get the power up from being Dolph?
I mean, honestly, it looks like it. This Soya is giving no fucks. Soya Psycho. Oh! There we go. Getting the beautiful 5U. Clearly, Sora's with the more superior chest. I mean, there's no argument after seeing that. Really interesting, though.
You were not kidding. Sora's does big damage. Bloody hell.
I mean, he does big damage off of specific hits. Obviously, he doesn't get as many, but again, he's just constantly putting you in this situation where you have to be on the ball. Because if you're not, you will be put into that blender and killed. And you can't be giving Sora's more turns than he actually deserves. Because a lot of his issue is that once he has struggles keeping himself in when he gets in. But you have to be actually ready to take back your turn and to convert, to block confirm situations. And it's definitely not easy.
If you're a second lit, you're gonna get counter hit and die, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So looking down towards losers bracket, we're approaching losers top 8. We have Arafu versus Padu, Deviants versus Mr. Pow. One of the matches are coming down to here, Breaker versus Peter, and then we're gonna have someone against Zeiji and someone against Chronicles, two phenomenal players as well. But we have our winners semis set up, so our winners top 8 is already decided, which is going to be Dolph, slash Vampin, Rickster, Dragoy, and Navir. Phenomenal top 4. Wow.
Oh, Dragoy versus Navir again, the run back.
Oh, yeah! Like one of the only matches I've watched with you.
Yeah.
Should be good fun. A throwback. But yeah, then obviously on the other side, we're going to have Svampin or Dolph versus Rickster, which is going to be a classic, something that we've seen many times in the past. And this should be a really good winner semis.
So usually, I know TOs aren't allowed to have favorites in tournaments. Usually you have to stay quite, I would say, impartial. But if you had to pick one, who is your favorite to win?
So the favorite to win or my favorite player? Because I can't really see my favorite player. All 4 of those players in the top 8, I'm actually a big fan of watching, and I think all of them basically have the potential to take the event. If we're seeing Svampin carrying on with Dolph, carrying on with the Soya,
Yeah.
I think that he'll have a little bit of a harder time than usual. He did take the last event, and he is #1. So if he was on his Zeta, I'd say that he's definitely favored. But if he's on his Soras, I'd be really interested to see how that one ends up going down. There are people in the losers bracket as well that we cannot rule out. We have Arafu, Padu, Deviants, Mr. Pau, Trakiza, Zeiji, all of these players. Peter as well. Damn. A lot of killers in the losers bracket. So if I had to choose one to win, I'm going to go with Navir. He seems like he's on an absolute roll. That set against Deviants was destructive.
Yeah, Navir looked cracked. If I'm gonna pick someone though, it has to be my boy. It has to be Rickster. I miss the days of Rickster playing Dragon Ball. You guys poached him away from us, and if he's gonna come here, he might as well try and win at least.
Yeah, for sure.
I think players are just getting ready. What game are we having next? Sorry.
We're gonna be grabbing Dragoi versus Navir, getting that run back.
Okay. Cool.
And yeah, I'm going to see if Navir can beat him out. Because Dragoi was also looking very clean. He's beaten Miri already, who is a phenomenal player.
This was a really good set to watch between two. It's like when I was asked to come on commentary, I was like, "Oh, what games are really good to watch?" And this this match was the recommended one, and it was great to watch. Breaking down the two players was really enjoyable. And I think if I had to pick someone to win it today, I think Nev is just on one today. I think he may have, since
gonna have some troubles. Dragoi's looking nasty.
True, but Nev looked like he made some adjustments from that
this matchup specific as well.
Yeah.
Like he was looking really solid in this Alar matchup. But again, we have to remember that Dragoi last time, I believe that he played against Navir. I believe he pulled out the Luane. And that wouldn't come as a surprise, but it turns out Navir has labbed Luane for sure. I mean, he was, I think, one of the only people that got a flawless block on Iggy in the last HAB. So he definitely knows his stuff in that matchup as well. So Dragoi's not going to be able to cut corners. He's going to have to win this one earnestly, but I believe he can.
Does everyone have a pocket, Luane?
Not really. There are only a few of them. Oh. But these days, the really active and a lot of the top players do seem to have pocket Luanes. Yeah, it's a bit of a coincidence. But, it makes sense. Stuck with the boy, and the boy's actually genuinely very strong right now.
Yep.
And there we go, getting into the game. Let's go Dragoi coming out from Agu, showing some Spanish love, and I'm sure the French community is going to show Navir some love in the chat as well. Right. Two very strong players, probably chief amongst, the representatives for their respective regions. I can't think of many players that deserve the mention more so.
Believe in victory.
It's going to be the fated battle. Dragoi's Bilal going up against Navir's Jita.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. Both of these players very patient, but again, both of them very well versed in this matchup as well. You're not going to be able to get much of a slip out. There we go. That's what we were talking about before. The OS. He knows. There we go. Go for that close heavy anti-air. Doesn't quite get it because he's coming for instant JU. Getting that counter hit crush, and all of a sudden Navir's back into the corner.
So he connects. He's going to be locked down. Great to get out of the corner, but late tech gets countered, but no confirm.
Got flash in the chat. How's it going, man? Shame to see you're not in the tournament.
There's Spanish Genki Dama in the chat.
Okay, that is going to hurt, though. The Genki Dama, the energy is not getting to Dragoi yet. And then you want that to get through Navir.
This game will go his way. Interesting to see what adaptation he's going to make. Because Nev just... Okay, I was going to say Nev looked like he just learned his lesson from before. Great tech. Best one going to get in the lesson. Oh, basically...
nice block. Yeah, good stuff. This is looking almost like a perfect. He's going to get the confirm into the super. Really close to perfect, but not quite.
Ooh.
Very convincing from Dragoi. And again, just showing off that this is going to be a very volatile match.
Rekka punished with the 2L, but look from afterwards. What can you get from that?
The Genki Dama, the energy arriving. Powered up the final round, but did he use it all up on that round, or does he have some in reserve? We're going to see now. Navir being very patient, got those blocks, and then checks him with that far medium straight into the corner.
Oh, the jump from Bilal, and it's an option that's always available to him. Because you can change the arc.
Don't worry, boys, the event's been timed out.
Oh, it was just a one-man Genki
Too much, bro. Too much Genki Dama. As someone redeemed to time him out as well. This is why we need that function.
Oh, DP.
It's okay, Bashko. We've got you. Coming in with a timeout. Nice, getting the MDP going straight through the bot dodge. And look at that, Nvidia just so patient on those plus frames. Not taking any risks. Ooh, and speaking of, never mind, instantly whiffs that MDP. And that is gonna hurt. This one might kill. If not, it's a pixel.
It was just one hit.
One hit, yeah. Oh, literal pixel!
Oh, he's
Could be chip point. DP's trying to avoid it, but Dragoi ready with that punish.
That would have been
What a
so
round.
to work out.
Really would have been.
Victory.
Okay,
These two would fall, it
Dragoi
should have been.
winning by genuine inches. I love that though. The fact that Nivea actually, you know, recognized that he was at that chip point and just went for that MDP. Oh, definitely keeping me on the edge of my toe. So, no idea what to side for the players, and yeah, going over that fireball and gets the command throw. Dragoi getting that offense going, looking very convincing.
Good block on the low.
Nice, keeping
Strapping
checked.
up with that 2-0.
Yeah, looking in that corner, not letting him start up some decent offense off of the blocked fire heavy. Beautiful stuff, Dragoi. Being very aggressive, but it's not like random in any way. It's very deliberate, very intentional.
Does look very calculated. Using that 5H to move forward. 2L to jab back. Yeah, he respects the stop there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nivea learned from a couple of interactions before. Yeah, got the cross up, wasn't using the guard button. That's one of the more cursed things about there.
Oh, wait, this, oh, I thought he got punished.
I don't believe so. Because I think that he's learned, as you were saying a second ago, not, you know, kind of respecting them now. He's not going for the DPs and the 2Hs on the stomps as much. He was getting punished with them earlier. Locks the MDP, takes the plus frames, and again, just... You're seeing what he does there. He steps back, lets both baiting the DP and setting out spacing for fire heavy to not let Nivea take his offense back instantly. Gives a much better opportunity to interrupt her, you know, walking forward to get offense started up, or to DP her, you know, going for a button. But Nivea not caring, going for that confirm, going straight into super, and now one decent touch will do it. Rekka, the cooldown is up. Again, respecting it though, not going for the 2H.
Good tech, late tech though, he goes right back in to into the wreckers.
Being nice and patient. Nice! Gets the throw on the EX command grab. And that's dead.
That was a really nice confirm. Like hitting mid block string actually. Nev keeps himself alive. Oh, this is the final game actually. Starts to stomp again.
Potentially.
And DP out.
Nivea doesn't have a win on the board, I don't think.
Oh, okay. I've just given him a win in my brain.
I mean, it's fair enough. These matches have been going by so fast. Hard to keep track. I mean, I could be wrong for all I know, but there we go. Now he's like, screw this. If I can't 2H it and I can't DP it, I'm just gonna air throw you.
Works out in the end, but Lau gets the counter hit, goes right back in, throw. In the corner now. Oh, the stomp. It's completely great wrecker there. It's mid-screen.
Oh, getting jabbed out. That's gonna be it. Okay, no, you're right. Profit. That is indeed the last round.
Yeah, nah, Dragoi is something else, dude. Dragoi is nutty. Like
He wasn't giving Nivea a second to breathe, honestly.
Like it's no slight to deviance as well, but it's just like he commands respect in a way that I have not seen any other Bilal do. You know, like he walked forward, did stomp like 3 times, and Nivea just wasn't. He didn't want to do anything. He just stood there and allowed it to happen. But he'll go down into lose bracket. Dragoi looks sick, bro. Holy shit. I mean, holy sugar. Like
the thing, again, feel free, but at the end of the day, against Nivea, he's definitely a player that, you know, you can't just command respect against. He will
DP.
He will, you know, he will DP. He will go for more risky punishes, like for example the close heavies that we were seeing earlier. He isn't afraid to go for situations like that. So what ended up happening there was that he was conditioned into respecting the situations from Dragoi. It wasn't, you know, just Nivea being overly reserved. No, he was staying on his game. It was just Dragoi keeping it nice and tight. Honestly, great match though. Great set. Yeah. All of them have been incredibly close at the moment. I mean, I know, you know, we got seeded events and everything, but I swear to God, every single week EU is powering up to the point where these tournaments, even as far as winners round 2, are just stacked with talent.
Like, everyone so far that I've seen has looked like they could be in top 8. You know, top 8 either side of the bracket, and they look really, really strong. And what is going on in the chat? I don't understand.
I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention. What's going on now?
Rickster, Ricky, Rocky? Bad matchup for Dolph. I don't understand anymore, but we're going to get another game. It's Swampin in his alter ego form, I believe.
Alright, I'll put the Dolph on this time. But yeah, so this is indeed a bad matchup for Dolph on his Soris. We've seen it in the past, him getting felled by Rickster and his Lowain. But let's see how it ends up going this time. Getting a little bit of a delay in, so I was waiting for that. There we go. Okay, we're in. You buff, real buff. This time. The English Lowain that you can't hear in English, I really need to sort out. I'll probably contact the person who does mods. I'll get them to keep the Japanese only mod, but put back in English Lowain, but make all Lowains English Lowain. That'd be a good addition to the mod.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Gonna get supple with the brother as well. Good tech on the throw. The second ball hit.
Oh, nice.
That gets counter hit. No kill.
Nice confirm. 3-2 Ls. No, Soros doesn't have that much health, but can bring it back. Goes into the Nappy Man mode this time. Getting the punish on this parry as well. All of a sudden, this is anyone's game. Is he going to go for the unblockable? Nah. Lowain jumping up, but the damage reduction is enough to keep him alive. Gets the Abare with that close light. That was a lot closer than it had any right to be.
I dream to be in a world where I hear in Evo Grand Finals, he goes into Nappy Man form. I love that. I love that name. That's great. Oh yeah, Rickster will take that first game.
Oh, okay, yeah, beautiful. That's what you want to be doing. The EX, obviously, not the best reversal in the game, but against special cancels, they can't cancel into anything more often than not. So, it's almost a guaranteed punish. That and being the safe jumps. That's the main uses for it. And again, that's the corner carry right there. Gets hit by a dash punch, and he goes from mid-screen to the corner. Oh, whiffs. Again. Yeah, there we go. Dolph, fearless. Got the confirm on deck. We'll take the round and even it back up.
It's 1-1. And it seems like Sora is like, in this matchup specifically, just wants to get low into the corner so he can't actually, he doesn't have the space to run away and, you know, set up his brothers, Catalina, etc.
Nice, getting the reaction tech. Nice, low crushing with that 2U. That's a beautiful tool for Lowain in this matchup. His 2U basically low crushes at most spacings all of the hurt boxes on dash punch. Oh, going to the HPA, he's going to armor through that.
Yep.
Get the punish. That's an interesting tool I do not see used in this matchup all that often. And the question is, will Dolph switch it up to Zeta? No, just letting it rock.
It's like using some of the matchup knowledge of that 2U.
Oh, nice.
Was that Clash?
Yeah, Clash with the Awesome Source, and obviously Rickster left in the air. So Dolph responding in kind, using that auto combo, punishing him.
Ooh, Catalina does nothing. Oh, good confirm.
And again, that's what I love about the throw. It keeps them so close to you.
Yep.
It almost feels like it's nearly a restand. It's not. It's actually some of the worst throw in the game if you look at the numbers, but I like it, man. When it catches me off guard because you're left in hit stun for like such a little amount of time. It feels like you recover so quickly. I get caught all the time by it. I'm not gonna lie, but Rickster not caught slipping, putting himself on match point. Yeah, and that's the thing that's really beautiful about Lowain is that he can run back. But now that his Awesome Source has been buffed, it's actually really good.
The range. Another time that to you on the dash punch again. Low tech. It's another throw. I believe Deviance has been shot.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna have to keep Deviance in permanent check with?
Apparently, bro, he can't stop.
All right, chat. You're gonna have to gamble, get money to shoot Deviance. That's the new goal.
Need you to farm it up. But at the same time, I'm not sure if you're aware, the channel points can actually be used to put money into the match arena.
There's
I'll put
no
it out.
way.
Yeah. I'll put it out. Basically, if they donate enough points, I'll drop a tenner or however much it is into the match arena. So that's what all your gambling should be going towards, boys. Getting some more money towards these players.
Definitely help that match arena. I don't know the code.
HAB Season 2 GB. HAB S2 GB2. We had to get a second code, hence the 2 at the end. because the Granblue community is so OD that we actually ended up, using up all of the first one. But shoutouts to Match Arena, they hit us up with a second code, which also means that if you've used the code on the first time around, when it was HAB Season 2 GB without the 2, you can actually use it again, so be sure to do so if you haven't already. Let's see if we can get them to give us a third code,
Yeah, guys, break the limits. You guys do really, really well when it comes to this kind of stuff. Makes me want to be a Granblue boy as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are a million reasons to want to be a Granblue boy, but securing themselves in our winners finals is Richter and Dragoy. That's our top 3. Dolph not quite cutting it with his sorries against Richter Sloane. And we're going to be looking down towards his top 8 for the rest of the matches. The first one is going to be Arafu versus Mr. Pow. And the second one is going to be Trikiza against the winner of Zeiji or Peter. Again, 2 top draw players, man.
Because I remember gauging from the Granblue community, like, oh, who are the best players? And well, I was like, yeah, Peter's fucking insane. He's the losers.
Yeah, he got knocked down as the losers earlier. I mean, let's go and have a look who knocked him down there, to be honest. Again, like we were saying, so much talent at the start of this bracket.
Yeah.
But actually, Peter getting knocked into losers by Arafu earlier on, and Arafu took out Padu in the losers bracket moments ago. On top of that, we had Deviants getting taken out by Mr. Pow. So there are plenty of phenomenal players already being taken out in our losers top 8. We're going to start off with Arafu versus Mr. Pow, though. This should be a good match. Again, Mr. Pow is one of the players. Obviously, we have Mr. Pow, Navia, Trikiza, Miri. We have all of the players that are going to be in the East Coast versus EU exhibition on the next Friday coming at 7 PM UTC, just the normal time of our events. And yeah, we got all of those players present in this bracket. Some of them haven't made it, though, already. A lot of them are in losers bracket.
Who's
Definitely
on the
brutal.
East Coast side of that?
On the East Coast, we have... I'm going to have to get the graphic up to make sure I don't mispronounce anything. But it should be Rico Suave, Wavi, Bizu, Diaphone, and Tega. Yeah, I just checked it. Okay, yeah. I'm right. Let's go. They're all great players. I've seen only 3 of them play, but I've been assured by everyone that I've asked, basically, that the other players are dangerous as well, so it shouldn't be free for our EU boys. If anything, it's going to be a very hotly contested match. Obviously, it's going to be 3 or 4 frames. Could be unstable. It's impossible to predict exactly how things are going to go on the day. So it's mostly good fun, but at the same time, it still will be very interesting to see how some of our best players end up pairing up against each other, and how they weigh up against each other in, it's a tough situation, but it's the best that you can do in a situation like this, just to bring a bit of a fun tournament to the people and to the players. So shout outs to Diaphone and all the attendees for helping us make that possible. Arafu and Mr. Pow should be making their ways in here now. We have got it confirmed. ZAG actually ended up knocking Peter out of the tournament, so you're not going to be able to see Peter this event.
No.
Unlucky.
Peter. Rest in peace, Peter.
Honestly, I feel like he gets some odd runs sometimes, really. Because, as we said before, there are so many players in the losers bracket already who have the potential to not just take top 8, but to take the entire tournament. Peter was definitely one of them. But unfortunately, a lot of the other players in Europe are really on their game at the moment. It's definitely never going to be a free bracket.
Wait, I'm just reading in the chat. Devious had to play 3 Materas this entire...
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Matera army is really on their game at the moment. They're everywhere. I mean, in top 8 alone, because now we have our top 8 confirmed, which is Dolph, Richter, Dragoy, Nivea, Arafu, Mr. Pow, Trikiza, and Zeiji, respectively. We have only 1 Matera left. Actually, looking at all the characters, it looks like we've got Soris, Luane, Belial, Jita, another Jita, so we only have 1 duplicate, and then it's Matera, Narmaya, and Ferry. So a pretty good amount of diversity. One of the events not so long ago had 3 pairs, which is the most duplicates we've ever seen in HAB. But there are quite a few duplicates. We had 2 Narmayas, 2 Materas, and I believe 2 Jitas.
Is it sort of a similar situation where Europe has a lot of different characters and America's they pick what they believe is the top 3?
Not necessarily. There's good character diversity across both scenes, I believe, at this point. And that just speaks to how well-rounded the game is at the moment. I feel like there's a pretty distinct top 1 to 5, and then everyone else is pretty tightly bundled together. There's maybe another 2 tiers. But regardless, every character in the game feels viable. So you're seeing a lot of character diversity, not just in EU these days, but in NA as well. But historically, EU has always taken themselves to the characters that the world has considered weak and proven them to be, well, not necessarily proven them to be. Some people could say it's because of patches, but I like to think that EU players stuck with it from the start, and their hard work's starting to pay off. Nice. Very clean round from Arafu. 2 touch.
Yeah, 2 touches, and it's pretty much over. Really clean.
Metera not having access to that DP, having lower HP, and only a 6 frame of Vare. Definitely can make it rough sometimes, especially against a character like Jida that has a really well-rounded toolkit, but her rushdown is really good.
Yep. It can suck as soon as she gets in. It's like, what can you actually do to get yourself out of that situation? But being able to just fight out, keep Jita away for now. 5-0, I guess that's to bait a fireball, or well, to bait them to think it's fireball or whatever. Yeah,
nice.
Oh, that was sick.
Uses the TK, well, not necessarily TK arrow, just the air arrow. Doesn't get a confirm off of it though, and right there we're seeing one of Metera's preferred anti-airs is her far medium, because it goes so far out horizontally and is air unblockable, unlike, you know, her 1H and her 2H. And obviously you can't always get acid rain out, it's a little bit slow. But Arafu getting Mr. Power to the corner, all of a sudden it's going to be very hard for him to do stuff. It's a player that I've seen muscle his way out though, it's going to be Mr. Power.
DP's right back into the corner, great jump away, and even though he's going to take the hit, he's got his objective right, he's out of the corner.
Which is what's really important here, honestly. He's managed to walk himself all the way to the other corner, but he has quite a bit of space to play around with, has to watch out for that M-Wrecker, but keeping Arafu completely under control. Obviously, you saw there, the arrow rain is only air unblockable on the way up. So as it was coming down, Arafu did get to air block that. Didn't get an air unblockable setup. I've seen a couple of them flipping them with farm medium in an air unblockable there. But Arafu, very convincing start. Taking a pretty clean series. I mean, Mr. Power managed to get himself out of the corner, but he's really struggling to get his offense going. Arafu responding in kind with DPs, etc. Keeping those hops, in check.
Yeah, Jeet's 5 hits. We'll go through.
Nice, very patient from both players. Either not having the best answers compared to the other Shotos on the butterfly calls in neutral. Like, characters like Catalina and Gram will just boot or droid. But Jita not always being at those spacings to respond with Wrecker.
Oh, good block. Fireball in the corner, goes into the Wreckers. Not punished, but gets him with a 5-0. And they're trying to fight his way out of the corner. Great 5-0. Fire. Ooh.
Nice, good pressure. Keeping it nice and tight. Trying to bait out that super now that it's available for Mr. Pow, but that's going to be dead.
What a shimmy. Jesus, nice.
Honestly, the Jita players have got shimmies more than any other character rep in EU, I think. You see the shimmy. I believe that's a lot to do with the Japanese Jita player, who was really, really prevalent, especially towards the beginning of Season 2.
Was that air unblockable? Sorry.
Yeah, that was the exact situation that I was talking about earlier. Blocking the arrow rain on the way down and then getting the air unblockable farm medium. Doesn't get a conversion out of it, but nonetheless. Either way, I feel like it's definitely inspired. Like, you see a lot of their pressure looking exactly like the Japanese players, Jita pressure. Yeah. So, I feel like it's relatively inspired, but at the same time, it's not just like they're ripping it off. Their pressure is very solid as well, and again, not getting those hops for free. And against Arafu, he's ready with those DPs. And yeah, I do mean Gamera. There are a couple of really good Jitas, but yeah, Gamera is definitely the one that I'm referring to, specifically. Nice, fading out that SBA. Like, honestly, you don't have a reversal, and the one time that you go for it, Arafu has been so actively trying to bait those out, going for those shimmies, and it gets the round.
And it's such a big bet, right? You're going to use all your super meter. You're going to die if you don't hit it, and you kind of have to take it at that point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but at the end of the day, you saw just how solid Arafu's pressure was there. Like I was saying, it is very reminiscent of Gamera and other Japanese Jita players' pressure. But the European players they're not just copying it, it's very much their own. And there was very few opportunities for Mr. Power to find his way out of that corner. We saw it a couple of times, but it was always taking a little bit of chip or getting DP'd right back into it if he went for those ground hops. And honestly, Arafu looking very convincing going into our next round. Mr. Pow, unfortunately, the Nasbatera getting knocked out.
I'm okay with that.
You know, they've had their reign. they've had their reign over the top 8. I mean, the last 2 or 3 have had 1 to 2 Materas, like, very deep into the bracket. Arafu saying it's cheater time.
Oh no.
You know what? I'm okay with that as well, though. I'm not exactly against nice bit of Jita or Matera representation in my top 8s. I'm noticing, though, that when we were looking at the graphic for the EU versus EC exhibition, you were simps, man. I mean,
Wait,
we have
what?
we have Jita, UL, Zeta, Narmaya, and Matera. All girls. And then over on the East Coast side, we have Lance, Anre, Belial. We have Beelzebub, you know?
To be fair, are there more female characters in this game?
I believe the last time I checked it was relatively even, but after the DLCs it might be more female favored, yeah. Either way, it's relatively, you know, there's good representation across the board, in my opinion. Let's get Trikezia and Zeiji in here, though. This should be a good match. Again, another grand finals match.
Against Matera.
Nah, I'm not against Matera. Hello? That is true. I don't float you to top 8, but there are plenty of Materas that muscle their way in there anyway, and I'm never upset to see it.
Narmaya versus Fairy.
It's going to be Narmaya versus a Fairy.
Yeah, I know, but when I asked him what character he wanted for the graphic, he said Kag. So, he gets the Kag. And yeah, in that case, the fact that I could have ended up putting the Percy as well, that means that it would have been all team boys versus all team girls, man. The duality of man.
And woman. Alright, so this matchup, I'm guessing, is just going to be more Fairy trying to run at Narmaya. What can she do to really stop her from in those dive kicks?
So, obviously, Narmaya has not one, but 2 really good reversals to deal with that. She also has a really good anti-air, so it's not going to be for free for sure. Like, he's one of those players that isn't going to let you get away with stuff like that all that often. He is willing to go for those leaping bets, and he does have the reaction time to back it up, but Deiji, he's a very good player at intentionally placing when he goes for that and when he just plays the ground game. Pretty good at mixing up the tempo, which is essential for characters like Fairy, Matera, Zeta, etc. You need to have that switch. You need to be able to go from being patient to turning on the gas. Basically looking like you're almost being stupid at that point, you know? Brain off. Yep. It's time for drill. And then, yeah, brain on. Time for 5 light DP calls in a row in neutral. But Trikezia again saying, hold this. Walks him all the way to the corner. Gets that confirmed into the SBA. In the first round going his way.
Nice, really good job there. Keeping a Fairy locked up with Steve Zeiji, the man who is literally everywhere. Fight back.
Good stuff. Good blocks coming out, and this time, again, going for the 236H. Trying to not let it get out that GG for free.
Okay.
Doesn't end up getting the punish, but on block, the GG goes away regardless. Nice. Getting the counter hit confirmed with that drill. And then getting the overhead. Isn't going to get anything significant off of it, but keeps their offense going. And the plus frames, yeah.
Did you think that was on plus? Yeah, that's why he pressed it down, I guess.
It's very hard to recognize it. That did look like it hit relatively high. But now you're an install, so gonna out for the chip. Mashes out, not wanting to hold that. I respect it. One more mix, yeah, gets hit by the low. Unfortunate.
That was a very quick low after the dive kick.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreactable. It's genuinely just a series of 50-50s a lot of the time.
Nice.
Especially when people have their pressure and their install combos labbed out, it is terrifying. However, Fairy's buttons a couple of them did get made slower, so she lost access to a couple of routes from install that she used to have, and her pressure was made notably worse by stuff like her 2M being a little bit slower. So as a result, she can't, do those buttons and then into 2M, 2L pardon, to maintain plus frames. And right there, we're seeing the exact reason why this matchup is volatile. Getting the air throw back into that corner, you're not getting out of there. And as we saw, one hit can take away 50% from that Fairy.
That should be enough.
Going for a DP is asking for a 50% one way or the other.
He just snuck out of the corner, put Fairy in the corner, and was like, okay, now it's your turn to guess.
Really nice. EX Command Dash is really, really good at that. A lot of players will be using guard buttons pretty much in neutral to prevent Narmaya from going for stuff like the Command Dash into slashes or Command Dash into the Moonsault, because in doing that, you ignore the left-right aspect from it, but at the same time, it's still so fast that basically the only thing you can do is react with guard button a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And as a result, though, it is still punishable with the slashes, but if she goes for Moonsault and you're caught slipping, she will get some plus frames.
That no, mine 2
right there. So that's what I'm on about. That Moonsault, getting the plus frames. People say it's reactable, but man, it is incredibly fast. And the round going in favor of Trikeza. Tournament point is going to knock Seiji out of this tournament.
And I was going to say that 236H has been doing so well at just getting rid of that GG.
Yeah, he's keeping it in check the entire time. I mean, that's basically the only job other than combo utility for that move for Namaya in this matchup. It's just to keep the ferry in check, basically. So, Trikeza doing a phenomenal job with that so far.
Barry out, and the drill will connect punish. I think he tried to throw.
Nice, spot dodges, baits out that DP. This is going to be a big punish. And he's going to need it. He really is on the knife's edge right now.
Yeah.
Trikeza is not an easy player to open up.
Oh, the drill. Nearly baited the button there, but side range. And I guess, is the drill like weirder on like crouch and standing?
It changes a little bit, especially on certain larger hurt boxes. There's also the consideration that if you use the guard button, it extends your guarding hurt box out just a tiny bit more, which does have applications against her drill sometimes in certain spacings. But again, it's so finicky that there are so many different spacings that really you just have to be willing to one of respect it or recognize the really egregiously not plus ones.
So shout out to chat voting Bilal best go. Completely right.
I love this though. Seiji putting him into a safe install mix situation, but opted to go for chip more often there than, the kill sequences. Just keeping it nice and patient, getting the punish. You can't do that. Oh no, never mind, no punish. Get the counter hit instead.
That was really nice patience there. A lot of people I think would have pushed the issue there, just stood back where he knew the game was coming to him.
He has health lead, and Namaya definitely doesn't have the easiest time. And for those of you that aren't aware, Perry actually has negative edge on her GG, which allows her to manipulate, earlier or later timings for that GG going off, that are really important for a lot of her pressure and combo structures. Got a little bit of drop on my end there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, DP came out. Ferry, that's a big life lead to work around.
Yeah, for sure.
He's doing cover hit.
Drop the combo, that is rare. You did not see that happening from Trikeza so often, but it does not matter. Called it a reset. Straight into the low. SSBA. Seiji will be knocked out of this tournament, and Trikeza will be joining the top 6.
And that was like 2 sequences. Got counter hit, and he loses it. I actually thought he had it there, but yeah, Seiji getting knocked out.
Beautiful stuff from Trikeza, and again, all of these players, 100% grand finals material, pardon. So it really is no surprise that we're gonna have to be saying goodbye to a lot of beloved and powerful faces really early on in the top 8.
Alright, I've changed my mind. I want a new person to win. I want Zvampin/Dolph.
Yeah,
I
mean, it's Soros, man. He's powerful. He inspires the masses. Who doesn't want to see some Soros action?
I'm looking at this bracket and it's just insane how many really, really good players are just not here. And it's because there's so many good players. Holy Christ. You guys are insane.
I mean, speaking of, though, we've got Arafu versus Dolph coming up. And
yes.
I don't know much about the Soros-Jita matchup. Jita obviously having a very well-rounded toolkit, so probably isn't going to struggle that much, but it's going to come down to, can the Sawyer man himself keep that offense going, as we saw him do earlier? I mean, it looked so convincing against Trikeza earlier, but then Rickster kind of dismantled it. So let's see how this is going to end up, pairing up against Arafu. It's player matchups, especially when it comes to certain matchups that you're not going to necessarily always have the most experience with. It could definitely show.
Yeah. I wonder if does Arafu have any Soros players that they maybe train with?
I believe Arafu is a pretty strong member of the French community, and thinking about it, I'm not sure how many strong French Soroses there are. I'm sure there are quite a few people who sub him, and I don't know everyone in the French community. They do tend to play amongst themselves a bit, but we'll have to ask them. Are there any notable French Soros players that Arafu might have been practicing with, or?
So I will be right back.
Sure, no worries. Alright, there we go. The Sawyer gang going up against the Jita army. Yeah, this ends up going. Both of these players phenomenal. Arafu seeming to be on quite the tear today. Jitas are coming out very strong. But it's Soros, anything can happen, honestly. And you'd love to see it. The number 1 player, Dolph
Battle 1.
Lundgren, coming out with his Soros. Yeah, French Cheetah Gang this time.
Oh, bloody hell. I just come back to seeing Gita getting pummeled in the corner.
I mean, look at the damage in there. The air reset gets the meaty geyser. Lots of plus frames.
She has to try and fight back out of this corner. Ooh. It's all cool.
Oh, wow, the clash. Spot dodges, ends up making him whiff that dash punch. This round can go either way, but it's only going to take one good hit for Soya to take this match. Nice, getting the punish.
Attack. Nice.
Oh, where's the button? No punish coming out from Arafil. Good blocks. But you are slowly but surely getting chipped out. Use the super jump, JU. And all of a sudden, it's looking like one touch for either player. Sora's taking no damage from that hit.
Yep. After saving the super, just in case it gets hit, but the 2L will...
Close
I don't know
down,
what's
yeah.
calling. Yeah, it's Vampin or Dolph.
I mean, you just call him Dolph for now. He's in his Hoyo mode, man.
Maybe Dolph.
Keeping him in check with that 2L. Or you can just call him Soros, honestly, at this point. He's the only Soros in the tournament, so there isn't much room for confusion.
Shadow. Oh, yeah. Let's try and confirm. Oh, good anti-air there.
Nice. Seeing out that turn with the 63H, using the universal overhead, crushing that protect. And just resetting. Getting another counter hit.
That was cheeky there. He reset him, went for, I don't know what for, actually. But
Alright, well,
it seemed like he had enough damage to kill, like, do a big chunk of damage. Chose the reset. It paid off.
interesting stuff. I mean, that was incredibly quick. But Arafu still looking solid. Both of those rounds came relatively close. I'm surprised at how little damage that JU conversion did. But Soros, you know, having that 500 more health than most of the members in the cast, might have came in a bit clutch.
This seems like a bad
throw.
matchup for GM. Holy Christ, he's just always closing the gap.
It's hard to say that it is, but at the same time, it could be a bad player matchup. Because again,
True.
Soros does put you in very specific situations that you have to be ready to make those split-second decisions, just like that. Getting the beautiful hit confirm into the SVA. That's a nice real input as well, getting all the way to be a dead nappy man.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, the thing is that he obviously puts you into these quick decision points, but unlike Yule, where she's doing this with the backup of all of these DPs, nah, it's just all brawn, man. He goes in chest first, and if he gets that hit, he is going to kill you for it. It's not like this, you know, 30% from Yule type shit. No, you're losing 50%.
He goes in, he says, either I'm gonna die or you're gonna die.
Yeah, one of us.
Right now.
Speaking of, air reset gets the midi geyser, ends up whiffing it actually, never mind.
Is that maybe like a active decision there? Whiffing it maybe to go through the throw or something?
I don't believe so, but at the same time, could have been. I'm not that, you know, well versed in my stories.
Using that record to get out of the corner. Counter it again. All the way to the other corner. The throw will connect.
Beautiful stuff. Great pressure so far. Just, but again, gets that punish. 63 H's like a man, doesn't care.
Soros is such a manly man, Jesus. Love.
Dolph looking really solid so far. Taking his turn back after the EX punch there. Managing a successful one. We're getting pretty close to chip point. Getting the dash punch. Now we're at tournament point. Is Arafu going to get knocked out, or is he going to tie it back up to 1-1?
Who do you think is going to take it in the chat? Let's know.
Oh, wow.
That's so much rage. Jesus.
I ended up crushing the extended hurt box of Arafu's button. But still, pretty brutal. Nice, good confirm. Meaty geyser. And DP's not holding it this time.
There's a fireball. It punches right back in. And the DP not baited, but will get hit on it regardless. And goodbye out. Needs to find a way out of this corner. Patience.
There we go. Getting the EX tracker all the way to mid-screen.
So, in the corner now. Soros has to be worried. Okay, late tag, but gets counter hit, and that should be enough. Should be able to go into
tied up. Beautiful.
Oh, no,
doesn't even need it. Look at him go. Confident in his conversions.
It's really nice.
Believe in victory.
All right, though, this is being brought to a knife's edge.
This matchup seems like, okay, now I've changed my mind. This matchup seems like it could go either way.
That's what I think, honestly. I think it's probably slight Gita favor because obviously he has a more well-rounded toolkit. But it's not going to be too bad on either side, honestly. Granblue mix, the classic whiff throw, and then the opponent whiffs flow as well. But honestly, against Soris, I find myself in that situation all the time because everyone's throw box in this game is pretty much the same size. It doesn't change based on how big your visual hitbox is.
Yeah.
So I whiff throws on characters like Soris and La Diva and Vasaraga all the time because they're so chunky. And that's also the reason why it looks like Jita and Narmaya have such big throw ranges. Just because their visual hitbox is a lot smaller. But regardless, Dolph looking very convincing, taking back the momentum. And I love the round start last round from Arafu. We saw him do backdash into that 2M. Got a nice confirm off of it, nice and early, but this time it's looking like Soris going for those space dash punches.
It's being muscled into the corner. DP will come out. Goes into the record. Pair of presses to try and punish. We'll get counter hit. Another counter hit. Another one. Good confirm. Just goes for MDP. Oh, and there's a clash. Full spot dodge. Yeah, that should be it. The anti-air.
Nice. Beautiful stuff. Good a conversion. All of a sudden, we're tied back up again.
Battle 3. Engage.
Could really go either way.
Who gets the offense going first? And we see this again. Sora's just dash punching all the way to the corner. But great 2M to counter hit.
Back into the mid screen. Getting the throw for the whiff meaty.
Oh!
Nice, solid pressure. Back dashing again, trying to bait out that dash punch. Because Jita's 2M is really good at crushing it. Like, weirdly enough, the priority on Sora's dash punches is not very good. You'd expect it to be fast and, high priority to make up for the fact that this is... Wait, is that dead? Oh, okay, not quite, but whiffs the JU into the throw. One more touch will do it and gets the delayed 2L. Oh, Christ. Okay, Dolph will be moving forward. The Jita army has lost a very loyal player.
I don't envy Arafu in that situation because it seems like once you're low against Soris, he's just going to put you into chip range and it's pretty much done from there.
Yeah, space dash punch is definitely hard to deal with, but as I was saying, you expect the dash punch because of the way that it works. It pushes him out on hit and block.
Yeah.
So you'd expect it to be like, fast but high priority. It actually isn't. It actually has surprisingly low priority. Like I could beat out heavy dash punch from Soris with Yule's 236L, for example, quite consistently. So you have to be very intentional with it, but Dolph clearly choosing his spots, doing very well with it.
We saw Rexer stuffing it with the Luane 2U as well. Jita with 2M. So yeah, no, really good stuff. We'll take it in the end.
Next up, we're going to be having some French-on-French violence, two of the top representatives from that region. But yeah, we're going to basically... I'm going to take like a 2-second break and go for a wee real quick. And hopefully we'll get them into the lobby. And I'll get them to wait a little bit.
Alright. It's going to be Nev versus Trekkies. We saw Nev before. Nev, my personal favorite. I've decided Richter isn't my favorite player anymore. My favorite player is Nev.
I'm for it. He's had such an interesting development arc in terms of how he plays. But at this point, he's like, I have to finish some TAing stuff first. All right. But I want to get into that match. So yeah, give me 1 sec.
You guys, you're spoiled with this guy. He needs to win. He's staying here to do some TA stuff. Jesus. Now, how's everyone in chat doing? Hope you guys are enjoying the games. Remember, if you have the time, I don't know how to get this up. So if this doesn't come up, I'm gonna look stupid. Okay, I am looking stupid. No, there we go. Yes, Maturino in the chat. Remember to click on the link. Use code HABST2GB to donate a little bit to the prize pot, which is already massive. You guys have done a fucking swell job. Excuse my French. But yeah, make sure you hit up and put some money in the pot. Also, I'm not sure when it's happening, but stay tuned. I'll share when he gets back. But stay tuned for more information about the EU versus East Coast 5v5 matchup going on later. I think is it later this month or next month? Sorry. But yeah, it'll be happening soon. We'll get information on it soon. So definitely keep an eye on that.
All right, I'm back. Let me just take a moment to realize that there's not been a single Henri in this tournament.
So I was I'll come completely clean. I didn't know the character was like tournament legal yet, so I was like, I won't have to worry about him. And then when you said, yeah, someone could play Armor if they wanted to, I was like, oh fuck, I have to read up about him, and we watched a little video about him. But I'm surprised. He looks like a really, really good character.
The iPhone coming in with the clean video to help us get on top of that, but yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to see any Henri, which is weird because NA is loving that character. And LBC, I believe I'm running Rumble, a couple of other tournaments as well, all going in favor of him from week 1. But yeah, generally speaking, these are online tournaments that are all in good fun, so usually the characters are basically available from day 1.
Yep. Good shit from you guys. We're going to get into it. Trikeys are going up against Nev. It's going to be Narmaya going up against Cheetah.
Yeah, beautiful. A matchup as old as time. I'm sure these players have practiced against each other a lot. And for example, that little tiny thing, but Nivea air blocked that, that's not air blocked, sand blocked the moonsault from Trikiza there, which makes him slightly less plus, for example. Little things like that will really pop up every now and then and show off the matchup experience between these two players.
It's about the Fireball trying to dash in to counter hits.
Nice. Never mind, responding directly in kind, both of them, using their forward approaching slashes. But Navir looking like he has the advantage, but again, just being very patient.
They're playing like training partners. You can tell they're taking really long pauses.
I mean, he was being incredibly patient, but Trikiza identifying that exact moment to strike. Gets that hit, and all of a sudden, both players looking, you know, dangerously close to death because of the damage that they can both output. Now, both players are going to be one touch from dead. Bro gets the late tech. That is going to chip, and that, doesn't get the confirm. And Trikiza gets the 2U into the SSBA. It wins! It's going to die. Oh, my lord.
The rave to reply. And I think, so in previous seasons, that Fireball would have bounced, right? So he would have got a combo for it normally. Right?
He would have definitely got a much easier combo. I think at that spacing, he still should have been able to get a confirm like that. It was on crouching as well, so he should have been able to get that confirm, but, you know, it's not always the easiest thing to react to, especially on a hit confirm situation. But it doesn't end up mattering. The scramble goes in his favor anyway. If he's beat to the corner, that was a beautiful far medium, stopping him from getting that fireball out.
Trying to wreck it out of the corner, but look at the pressure.
The range on his A stance buttons is absolutely phenomenal.
It's a big sword, to be fair.
I mean, it's not necessarily a big sword, but it stacks up pretty large against Narmaya, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Look at these fireballs again. Basically just going for that RPS situation. If he goes for that forward roll, he has to watch out for the charge fireball. It's not always that easy to get through. Nice. Never mind, drops the anti-air confirm, and this is going to be a second death from a whip.
No way he's dead. I mean, we're going to get some.
I think he's dead.
No, not like this.
Yeah, exactly, like this time. Second time he dies to a whiff, and he's going to have to tighten that up if he wants to beat Navir. One Frenchie is going home.
Battle 1. Engage.
Just trying to poke into him.
Nice, good damage. Gets the low. All of a sudden, this is looking like 50% going in favor of Trikiza. Let's see the source. Am I nothing too saucy these days? Gets the low again, though. No cooldowns to convert off of.
In the range, great poke there. Record to get back to mid-screen.
Oh, yeah, this one is actually going to land. Beautiful stuff.
Oh, God. Bloody hell.
The single hit off of the 2H into the command dash super. Looks nice, man. Not going to lie. They hurt, too. Nice. Wow, what pressure. Cancelling that nice and early into the command dash moonsault.
He's trying to get his offense going, but the poke into EX Wrecker will get Nev back to mid-screen. A throw.
Have to keep things tight against Navir. Oh, Universal Overhead ends up counter-hitting what looks like a 2L or 2M attempt. Nice and patient from these players. Again, they're just constantly adapting right now. Trikiza understanding that he has this life lead, but he needs to keep it tight. He can't be whiffing anything if he wants to not get knocked out here. Beautiful whip on us. That should be in my mind.
No.
Doesn't have the ability to confirm out of that. I believe he'd already used command dash, so. Again, Narmaya, not always the easiest character to get those confirms out, but because of the fact that she has 2 sets of cooldowns, usually if you're ready for it, you can get it going, but you have to think about it a lot more than certain characters in the game do. Like he's tying it up, yeah. Beautiful stuff.
Go into the last game. Ooh.
Odd situation, but MDP. Get this offense going. Blocks the DP.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, is there a better combo you can get from that, or is it?
Pretty sure, but you know,
it happens.
It happens, yeah.
Looks like they're gonna take him all the way to the corner. And the shimmy goes for the throw, late tech. Another throw, late tech, and it's gonna do chip damage.
Man, not letting him out of that corner. And there we go, the MDP. No, MDP, Mrekka, pardon. My bad. Yeah, it looks so slow, but it covers so much ground, man. That you see it getting used to great effect, not just by the players over in EU, but in NA and JP as well. This has been a tool that I've seen being used a lot.
Good interrupt there on the Mrekka. Takes him to corner. DP out from Nev. He said he was going to use it if he could.
Yeah, we're at tournament point for Trikiza at this point. He has to tie this back up, otherwise he will be getting sent out of this bracket. Been looking very convincing so far. Has a slight health lead, but he is knocked down in the middle of the screen. Gets the universal overhead as an offensive call out on Nivea's pressure. Is that going to be, one more hit?
What a sick fucking read. DP?
Reads on reads, man. And now we're tied back up. One of these French players is going home, but if Nivea wants to avenge Arafu against Dolph in this next match, he's going to have to take Trikiza out. But Trikiza, he's on a roll right now.
Yeah, Trikiza, nothing to sneeze at. Get it in. That gets hit a couple times. Push him slowly to the corner. Is he going to command dash out? Maybe.
Nice, good punish. But it doesn't matter. Right back into the corner with you.
In the range.
That's straight for that fireball with the EX, that's enough.
Oh, great interrupt on the dash in. Not going to be dead, but a lot of damage. Next hit's going to kill. Just waiting, patience.
Love to see it. Obviously, Trikiza understanding that he doesn't have to dash in and risk that DP, or risk Nivea trying to jump out. Just got to keep it patient and tight. Looking for that opening with that huge range on the Asance. And manages to get that confirmed. Nivea getting knocked out of the tournament, and that is the last of the French cheetah army. That means that our top 4 has been locked in. It's going to be Trikiza, Dolph, Rickster, and Dragoi, I believe, right? Yeah, it is.
And every person in the top 4, right, from what I've seen, deserves to be there. But there's so many players, man. I can't not look at the bracket and think, yeah, this was a tough one to break through. Jesus.
Alrighty, so after all of those matches, we're going to give the losers a little bit of a break, some time to get back to themselves, and we're going to be moving up to our top 3. Winners finals, which is going to be Rickster versus Dragoi. As a result of it being top 3, this is going to be a first to 3 as opposed to a first to 2.
Yep.
So longer sets indeed, and both of these players should know what's going on with Luane, so I'm interested to see how this one will go down.
Are we probably going to see Luane versus Bilal?
Should do.
Okay.
Right, just go Rickster.
I'm just looking at the chat. Sorry, no, I was just reading chat. But yeah, remember guys, in this downtime, got nothing better to do. Remember to hit up the Matcherino. Use the code.
Oh yeah, for sure. There you go, coming in with the Nightbot command. Let's go. Fun fact, everyone, by the way. The Nightbot commands all work in Discord as well. So if I go ahead and @dunk, yeah, look at this. Isn't neat?
There's no way.
Ah, whoops, activate its own line, but there you go.
Oh, that's so cool! What the fuck?
Honestly, every TO should have this in their server. I swear. So nice that they have a Discord bot. It means that, for example, someone was asking about joining for the first time earlier, and I could just type !mark upcoming. Clean.
All right, Mace. I know you're in chat. Get on it, please. C4 IQ or situation damage. One of those names you guys will know. But yeah.
Clean Dragon Ball content creators, and if you'd like to take a moment to shout out anything that's going on in the EU Dragon Ball scene, I know you're pretty involved in that, and I've got nothing but love for Dragon Ball, sir.
Bro, legit, so we just had a big national championship season end, but we've got action going on Situational Damage channel. He's in the chat there every Monday, I believe. Every Monday, we have some round robin games, and it's usually like players that deserve a little bit of spotlight. Come in, want to fight, and just tune into that. That's all I'm going to ask you to do. But other than that, just support your scene. Like, you guys are fucking sick, and that's all I want to see. I want to see you guys pop off. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, honestly, the EU Granblue scene can't show them any more love. People say that being a TO is a thankless job, but with this community, it definitely has never felt like that. We have, some issues here and there, but for the most part, it's been a very chill community that has shown us nothing but love and appreciation, which is what we need, man. We're a game that's seen no chance at offline so far, but regardless, the community has been really, really strong. And even though we've been denied certain opportunities that I feel the players should have, especially given, the EU platform isn't necessarily as out there as other more established platforms that we have in, Japan and North America, which results in them getting a little bit more opportunities. I feel like there is there's no lack of talent to make up for that in Europe, and I can't wait to see people getting that opportunity to, display all the hard work that's been going on over the past 6+ months when those opportunities start to get provided to them. They definitely deserve it.
We're going to get into winners finals. Going to be Rickster going up against Dragoi. It's Bilal versus Lowain for this matchup.
I mean, both of these players are definitely your boys, right? But who would you put money on to win this? Because the chat seems pretty in favor of a certain player. I want to know your take.
I can't not bet on Rickster. Like, I have to for the allegiance, but Dragoi looks so good.
He is a very clean player, but here's the thing. You're hedging your bets. You got Rickster. He was down a total of 5k in the latest Gamba. But that means if you get the bet right with Rickster, you got... I don't know. I feel like he's playing Lowain. He's a very solid player, so he can definitely, at any moment, take this. So, you're in for some songs if you end up getting that bet right. The odds are pretty heavily in your favor. And there we go. Getting the awesome sauce after the food. Going into that HPA. Dragoi, and yeah, beautiful. Going off, like I said earlier, he has that Lowain matchup experience. Not going to be able to cheese him out.
Yeah, he's spot on everything. Gonna throw him into the corner. Siphon, here's the range he wants to be at. Daring you to press something, but Wayne running all the way at it.
Beautiful stuff from Rickster. You don't get to see that every day, but Dragoi, honestly, showing instantly he knows how to deal with HPA. He's passed the first test. Second test is going to come in. Can he deal with Iggy? He can pass both of those tests and he can get his offense going. I can see why the channel points were in favor of the man himself.
Yep. So in the corner.
Nice, getting the command throw back into the corner.
Disguised it so well. Oh my goodness.
Very hard for Lowain to deal with that, honestly. But Rickster, I'm pretty sure that this is just meaning that we're getting a little bit of a blip in connection, as it definitely happens every now and then in online tournaments. But looks like it's starting to clean up. It should be starting up again now. And another special for Rickster is that he doesn't necessarily like taking risks in these situations. He's happy to just let himself get down to Iggy range. Holding down back in that corner. Has to put him into the second test, the Mario Party test.
He's looking for it. We all have access. They're just running backwards. Oh, wow, the work is actually... Oh,
nice! Whoa! He's starting to get air thrown pretty consistently out of that situation, but EX Boys going to confirm, is this going to combo into HP? Even though he lost the corner, he did still get that confirmed. Beautiful stuff from Rickster. Dragoi keeping it tight, but Rickster coming out slightly on top.
Rickster.
Getting a first to 3 though, plenty of time.
Believe in victory.
Come on, boy. Got people betting on you now. But Dragoi, nothing. He's definitely, not out of it yet.
No, definitely not. And if there's any player that I believe can stabilize, it's going to be Dragoi. I've seen these two play Lowain mirrors before. It was interesting. So, failing if he ends up losing another round, he can always win a combo. That was sick. There's the EX command pro. Yeah, you can't safe jump Lowain unless you're doing pretty tight safe jumps.
Rockets. Did he just let himself get hit?
Oh, getting air thrown out of the JU again. Rickster on the ball with that. Waiting for the perfect opportunity to bring in that Diggy. Whiffs the awesome sauce, bails himself out.
Here's the test. He's gonna block out.
Oh, getting hit by the unblockable. Spot dodges, doesn't have to take that chip. He's just waiting for the punish and uses the parry to get into range for that punish. You have passed the test. You are now a Mario master.
Yeah, gonna take that first game. That's good knowledge there to jump forward, get ready for the punish as Iggy's coming out of it. We'll take the first game.
Nice. You confirmed using that whip punish on the 2U. All the way to the corner.
It's a lockdown. The brothers bail him out, but Ibarra will counter hit. No combo. I don't think he had the cooldowns anyway. Look at the lockdown. Look at the pressure. 5H. He runs out. But every time he runs forward, he's just getting poked. Not dead, right? One hit. Can't safe jump in the way, and then here come the rockets. Jabs out again with that 2-0.
Nice.
Oh, Iggy.
Going straight into the Iggy. Is he gonna? We've already seen that he's already a certified Mario master, but when you're back to the corner against Iggy like this, your options do get restricted a fair bit. But Bilal having access to that parry is phenomenal at dealing with Iggy, and Dragoy having full comprehension of this fact uses it to full advantage and takes out that round. Bang it back up.
with Iggy, like if you don't hit them, you're just gonna get punished every single time.
Yeah, genuinely. I mean, you can try, especially with. I think it was worth him trying this purely to test how Dragoy was going to respond with his back to the corner, because obviously you can walk him to the corner with Iggy, and then Iggy's a lot more scary. A lot of your options get shut down, but Dragoy using that parry very well and is proving that it doesn't matter where you are, you really can't use Iggy, which unfortunately is a large part of Rix's game plan when it comes to his low lane in general. But it's not really that. Dragoy has also proven that he can deal with HP as well. So
yeah,
this super bar is not looking too hot.
I mean, what can he do? I mean, he could just use it to get the hit, but surely Luane wants to use it to get those clean hits.
Yeah, basically you want to be able to put them into those, situations where you're forcing them to, you're forcing them into a test of reactions and seeing if they can handle the pressure. But
what a stomp!
There we go, here we go. Iggy, this time he's low. But it's looking like if Dragoy keeps up the way he is, this should be another round going his way. Going full screen, understanding there's not much reason to take any risk. Looking it out, he should be able to carry that. It's going to be a punish. Unlucky. Probably should have just opted to do nothing on Rix's side, but again, Dragoy shutting down that Iggy completely.
That is a Mario Master.
He is, man. A Mario Master himself. I don't think I've ever seen anyone dismantle Rix's Luane as much as it's being, as much as it's happening right now.
We'll get the counter hit. Comes it mid-screen.
Oh, nice. Gets the DP. It is guaranteed, basically. You can always use your own reversal in response to the parry, or you can go for the spot dodge. It's the only situations where you can really effectively not do that is when he catches you on a special cancel or on a jump in. But it looks like that's going to be dead. Dragoy leading 2-1. No, never mind. No damage at all.
I mean, this is...
Do you can Rix to do it? Oh, gets the back throw. I mean, it's hard to count Luane out. There's always that comeback factor.
But it's just gone now, right? Because he can't use HP, he can't use Iggy. What does he do?
I mean, he can try. I mean, how much, how much he's going to get from it is a little bit up for debate, but he can definitely try to use Iggy.
Yeah. To try and make something happen without those super bars for now, but great counter hit. I think that was 5H. Cancelled the first hit. Yeah, well, again, combo mid screen. There's no down spot dodges, but nothing comes from it. And Scythe will lock him down. 5H forward. Yeah, to you. Yeah, I like that from Rix. Slide out of the corner to start your offense. Gets the counter hit. Here come the brothers. Yeah. Dragoy just ready to press out, and that should be the kill, right?
Yeah, seems like it. I mean, last one we saw didn't do that much damage, but yeah, this one looking a lot less scaled, and is going to close that one out. Put Dragoy at tournament point.
One more. See his ticket. Grands. Rix just hasn't after that one win hasn't found a way to sort of break down Dragoy yet. Well, oh, carries through and gets punished. Will be in the corner again now. It's lockdown. Jump. Yeah, it's Rix's turn. Tries to run out and managed to catch a pressing buttons again. Rix has been caught a lot, like running forwards by Drago. Tried to, you know, punish at this time, but gets counter hit phase worries. Once again, at a deficit.
Yeah, Miss Blue, you're definitely right. Luane is not bottom tier, even though we're seeing, you know, Dragoi make it look almost comical dealing with this Luane. Luane definitely has some great tools in these matches, you know, in the game in general at the moment, but his biggest weakness is these supers being, you know, very high variance, especially against a character and player like Dragoi, and there we go, dealing with it properly this time. Letting him to use that parry, using the rocks to get him back out, and he should be able to get the punish here. This is going to kill because it is Luane, but one more touch will do it. Blocks the super, but it's not going to be enough!
Oh, the chip! Oh, Rick's no. You, brother!
I'm not even sure if you can spot dodge that super because it has multiple hits. He might have had to forward roll it. That was rough.
Oh my god. And it's the one time Iggy works out for him, right? He manages to get the hits. And in the end, Dragoi just managed to clutch it out. That was really good. It was a really good bait on the parry.
Yeah, it was.
It was a little too late, right? The chip was...
Yeah, the timing impeccable. You know, he basically baited Dragoi to go back out to full screen and then timed it so that he could do one ball into rocks and then instantly go out of Iggy safely, which is something that he was not doing earlier on. But he ends up in a checkmate scenario a little too, you know, a little bit coming in his favor, but it was just too late. His health was already a little bit too low. Maybe if he got an E in there at some point, he could have got the health back and got himself out of that chip range, but... Again, Dragoi never gives the opponent any room to breathe or to, you know, take the tempo of the game into their own. He's always on top of them and forcing them to deal with his game, which I'm, you know, very impressed by.
And he's going to be sitting in grand finals, the big boss. You're going to see who's going to come back up to take him on. I think we're going to get, well, no, I think we're definitely going to get Dolph going up against Trakiza.
Yep, and it's going to be loser semis. So, back to first to two. But this should be an interesting one nonetheless. I mean, we saw earlier that the person that sent Trakiza to losers in the first place was Dolph, so he's going to be hungry for that revenge.
Yeah. See if we can get it though. As we load up into this custom mode, beautiful as ever. Yeah, some adaptations being made, right? It's trying to stuff him. Whoa, what the hell was that? So damage. And another counter hit, and I think that'll be enough. Has super if he needs it. Actually, no, Granblue scales a lot, right? Nice.
Wow.
Perfect.
Very quick round coming in.
Yeah, we'll take that first game. Dolph. Yeah, trying to get his dash punch offense going, but we're seeing Nam, I think, using...
oh, what a whip finish! Wow! Okay, Trakiza, again, very hungry for this comeback. Does not want to let Dolph knock him out for the second time.
Oh, spot those punished.
Nice, beautiful combo. That's going to be dead.
Is it?
Should be, right? Yeah, even against Soros and his slightly improved HP.
2 quick rounds.
Very quick. Oh, we're going to get going back to the room.
Oh,
he's sticking with it. Oh, faithful in his Soros.
Yeah, we're seeing Trakiza just going on offense all the time, not letting Dolph sort of, dash punch him to the corner like this. And I really like this. You said the priority was low on the dash punch, right? And every single time he's trying to stop the dash punch from coming through. And it's working out, and isn't going to be dead, right?
Nah, not this time.
Next hit.
He's in for a range though, which is an important range to be in. Just against a character like Namaya. Bigger for a game. Going to Nappy Man mode. Might be out for a range now. Only has 1 stack to his name though. Nice, good mash. Not gonna end up mattering.
Did he spot dodge the last 2L and then managed to get through? Trakiza on set point now. Good with punish on that dash punch. Throw into the corner. Oh, another throw. Late tech, and the throw comes out again. He's gonna kill him exclusively with throws now.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Namaya has that throw game, and there we've seen the backdash to bait the fucking dash punch again. then crushing it, like we saw just in the Arafu match, the French people. They got the tech.
And that's gonna be it.
Traikiza speedrunning Dolph out of this tournament. Wants to secure that first place for himself, I believe. If Traikiza does win this tournament, he will be in the #1 spot. If not, it's going to be close.
And Traikiza just making so many adaptations in the set. I think this time he was a lot... He didn't really wait for Soros to come to him, right? He was like, okay, if you're going to dash punch, I'm going to stop you every single time. And that's what meant he could keep his offense going. That was really nice in terms of adaptation from Traikiza. Will put him into a losers finals.
We're back to the first to freeze. This is going to be our losers finals, Traikiza versus Rickster. And this is going to be a hard one to call because, as we can see, Traikiza is on a roll. But he's had problems dealing with this low in the best.
Just trying to look at the bracket, see where they came from. Okay, yeah. So Dolph actually lost to Rickster. But this is a completely new Traikiza, right? He looked on the ball in those games, in that really quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see if Rickster will take him first to 3. Yeah, absolutely. And I really like that the way he was playing Namaya that last game.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely though, that was a runaway.
Yeah, like we've seen some quick games today, but that was he just steamrolled through Dolph Soros. Yeah, Soros I think gonna take fourth.
Yeah, it's gonna take 4th. A good showing from Swampin is still gonna secure himself a pretty hefty amount of participation points.
Yeah.
Gonna be third place. Well, no, gaining another 3, which puts him at, I believe, 23. Definitely not gonna be easy to catch up to Dolph as Swampin at this point. But as we've seen, we have plenty of players in EU that are capable of giving it a good shot.
Already has Rickster in the corner. Was the brothers to kind of create some space, get himself out of the corner. Go back to mid screen. Oh, the throws whiff. Brother comes outside in, he's eating some food. Will gain a lot of meter. Obviously wants to do that so he can get his
Christ.
Ooh, counter here. I think we tried to add here. Didn't come out actually. And we're actually seeing this a lot from Traikiza and Dragoi, right? Jabbing him as he's running forward.
Yeah, keeping him in check.
Oh. And here comes Iggy. Here's the test. Will you pass?
He's got quite a lot of HP to work with, so I'm imagining that, yeah, he doesn't mind taking this chip. Is he going to be able to get a command dash? No, just keeping it patient, not even risking getting hit on trying to go for that punish. Just being nice and patient, and then checks him again with that command dash into the slashes.
Take that first round, sorry. You see in the people really stopping this Lane from working as we get closer to the top 4.
Nice,
can't run in like
and then spot dodges, gets the throw on that parry. It's gonna hurt. Oh, never mind. Opting to keep it a little bit shorter, keeping the cooldowns for future combos, and there we go. TK sets it up, but no, ends up dropping back to mid screen, and we're gonna probably end up seeing a Yuki.
Yep, eating up, gets a super bar full.
Nice, nice and patient.
Late tech.
Trying to get a little bit out before he calls in that Iggy, but now that he's at chip point, ends up getting a trade, going in favor of Traikiza, and that is 1-0.
And it must suck, right? Because it's kind of like dying with sparking, right? Not being able to call your Iggy feels like a bit of a waste, but Traikiza will take that first game.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful stuff. He's keeping it very clean at the moment.
Definitely looks like a different player to the one we saw in Winner's side. Finally, Rickster trying to make a way in. Will spot dodge it. No punish this time. Here come the bros. Will get knocked down. And here comes the eating.
Oh, beautiful.
Buffet.
Use of awesome sauce. Getting the confirm of the boys. Actually ends up with the reset. But same situation as before. Swat does the parry. Gets the throw.
Good. Has the knowledge down the throw. We'll put him down into the corner. And again, is that like sort of like a throw bait?
Yeah, it's the same as like neutral jump and universal overhead, stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh, almost gets the confirm of the space SBA. It's a really cool. Again, Namaya, obviously, the combo demons are out there for this character. She has a lot of flexibility compared to other characters in the cast. But still, nothing more satisfying than seeing a good SBA combo like that. Doesn't end up cashing all the way out though, man. If that killed, Would have been an instant clip. The combo.
Look at the damage.
Oh, lovely.
Out. And he's trying to call these brothers to make space, but every time he runs forwards, gets checked.
Doesn't even have Iggy available to him right now, and that's going to be it.
Oh.
Boys are not enough. Jakiza taking his legs out. You got to watch your toes.
Rick's got to watch his tournament life right now.
I mean, honestly, Jakiza is on an absolute roll. Picking out players that have given him trouble in the past. Basically, you know, seemingly very easily.
Yeah.
Definitely not the case, but he's making a mess of him. Ooh, DP's on the boy, ends up getting punished though.
And Rex has to take this opportunity, make something happen. Doesn't look down in the corner. We'll get a count hit.
Whoa.
Confirm.
He accepts and ends up trading with the boy.
Rockets, the throw whiffed. Clean punish though.
The next sub emote that I get, I'm probably going to make the boys win the boys. Doing HBA or something. But in the meantime, oh, never mind, ends up whiffing. But so does the punish from Rixa. Pretty messy into this round. Let's see if this is anything to go by. Iggy's going to be great here. You have to be very clean to deal with this properly. Takes the chip from Lightning. I'll dodge it this time, and again.
Punish on the Iggy though. It goes right back in. Oh, parry. Well, goes into the spot dodge. Those brothers come out. And the DP. Chip range?
There's the parry, bro. Yikes. Okay, fair enough.
Looks the fighting back.
The boys coming out. I was not expecting that. I can guarantee Jakiza wasn't either. Beautiful throw. The space to use as well. To use is such a beautiful tool for the win. Having the ability to special cancel it as well. The DP catching him on the crossover.
What? Oh, it whiffed, but doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah, just swatting the boy away. Get him out of here. Good anti as well, no confirm.
It must be easier to anti-Halloween as well because he floats for so long.
Yeah, it really depends, because obviously when he does JU, it alters his air momentum like that, making him float a little bit. It can make it actually harder to anti-air him, honestly, than other characters, as he gets to alter his, you know, the arc of his jump with his JU. But not every character has access
was
to that
so brazen, he was right next to him. Okay.
Alright, we're going to see a HBA setup, goes to the unblockable, gets DP'd out of it. And straight into Iggy.
To make something happen here. We haven't seen him punishing, so I think he still has an opportunity after this.
Yeah, I feel like we've not seen any punishes coming out, purely because Jakiza hasn't felt like he's needed to up until this point. But in that situation, yeah, he got clipped by rocks. Like I was saying, I was thinking that he might feel the need to punish it because it's not, you know, he hasn't got the leisure of a big HP lead as opposed to the other Iggy's that we had seen so far. And as I said that, he tries to get in range to punish that, probably trying to walk forward or do a command dash, and gets clipped by the last second rocks.
It's doing so well to swap these boys out every single time, and it's pushing away to the corner. Goes for awesome source, gets punished. It's gonna be a big combo. Look at the damage! This combo is so sick!
Max height into the EX moonsault. Usually you see that like really down low, but that was saucy.
Ooh, that would look cool. Did he slide over? That was really cool too. Awesome source.
Into Iggy already? Into Iggy. What? Damn, I didn't even realize he was that low. Oh, gets hit by the unblockable.
Oh! Well, dodge, we'll jump, chip.
Gets hit by the box again. Is it going to be punished? Go for the parry, trying to beat out those slashes. You love to see it. Is this going to be a forward roll? Never mind, just spot dodges and gets the rockets to do it for him.
Yeah, and I think Jakiza was sort of forced into that situation. If the rockets hit, he was going to be put into chip. Tried to super through.
Yeah, it was an understandable choice. But I was really expecting the forward rolls. That's usually how you deal with that super. But at least at the point blank range like that. But no, never mind. Goes to the spot dodge, gets the punish with the rockets. I don't see that every day. But Richter is now one round away from tying this back up, which honestly it was looking very Jakiza favored earlier on. So
and he's got super already. Right?
Yeah, he's probably just gonna hold down back and wait for Iggy.
Yeah. Oh, takes a hit. Trades with the Catalina bot. That's awesome sauce in.
And any touch Richter gets here is basically just icing on the cake. Probably just waiting for Iggy. Oh, never mind. This is definitely gonna put him to Iggy. He gets his wish. And the best part about this is that this SSBA pulls him out of the corner unless he kills. No, okay, thank God, I didn't think so, but it pulls him out of the corner, which means this Iggy summon is going to have him in the corner. Might have been better to confirm into that SBA for this reason, yet and again, understanding that Namaya is going to be respectful, walks into the corner, and that's what I mean, that's the situation that I was talking about. Yggdrasil can just walk you into the corner if you're being a little bit too respectful. It's very hard to deal with when you're put into that position. And again, I feel like his choice opting for that SSBA ultimately was what cost him that round.
I'm gonna be forthcoming. I didn't know Iggy could move.
Yeah, no, I brought it up earlier, but yeah, it's definitely not something. Yiggy in general is kind of a knowledge check situation, but once both players understand what it's about, it comes down to mind games like that. You know, am I going to take a timing here, or am I going to walk towards you? It really, but again, it puts all the responsibility on the defender to understand the situation and to deal with it accordingly. And the second you slip up, everything just starts to feel like it's impossible to block.
It's really unfortunate situation that he put himself in the corner with that super. And probably could have, well, definitely could have done something else about it. We're going to go to 2-2, so whoever wins this is going to be going
No
to
punish,
Grand.
thank God. That was looking like another whiff that could have ended up costing Trikisa his life. Here comes the Iggy Pool this time, he can't put him in the corner. This is what I mean though, Brixler's Luane is a lot more Iggy focused than a lot of Luanes that we see. Like the North American Luane tends to never use it basically, he's a HBA only Luane. But Brixler loves his Iggy. So Dragoi dismantled him so hard earlier, purely off of the back that he couldn't use that Iggy. This is an SSBA confirmed that is not going to be the downfall of Cherkiza. Back to tournament point, Brixler is going to have to do a comeback.
It can feel kind of demoralizing when you can't use those supers against people. But it's worked against Cherkiza, so he does have that well to dip into every now and then. He's going to have to make it work one more round.
For throw. Goes for the throw setup again, I love that. You whiff the close heavy and then you can go for throw or a frame chat. Nice, again, checking the boy, but it hits the Wayne as well.
2-for-1 special. Does a decent chunk of damage. Next hit.
Decent chunk because Luane loses 60%. Let's go.
Looking for space.
Oh, whoa. Goes to the spot dodge even though he didn't throw out the button. He's hard-coded. He sees parry, he has the spot dodge. Okay, beautiful. The boys stand no chance in this matchup. Cherkiza doing a beautiful job of keeping him in check and going straight into the SBA confirmed. That's going to be dead. Cherkiza will be moving on against Dragoi.
Cherkiza is so fucking smart. Jesus Christ. Every boy that came out, he flinged them away. And when he tried to go Catalina bot, ran forward, hit both of them. This guy is insane.
I mean,
fantastic.
Shout outs to Rickster for bringing it that close, honestly, because it was looking like Cherkiza was similarly to Dragoi, gonna kind of dismantle his Luane, but definitely not. He brought it back, showed us off some Iggy tech, and brought it really damn close, but Cherkiza inching it out. And he's looking incredibly convincing going into the set against Dragoi, but Dragoi has not lost a set this entire tournament, so it's very hard to say who'll have more momentum going into this.
Also, shout out to everyone in chat. I just see GG's afterwards. Good stuff from both of them. In Dragon Ball, it's like, fuck you. Money match me afterwards. Suck your mum.
I mean, we have some of that in EU, I'm not gonna lie, but generally speaking, like, the pinnacle of EU drama will be, like, two people having a mild dispute, typically. So it's a generally relatively tame community, so I do feel kind of blessed for that. But the thing is that we also are a very tight-knit community, but don't have the numbers of Dragon Ball. And it's all online at the moment, so it's very important, I think, to keep everything as respectful as we can between players, where possible. You know what I'm saying?
Good job, guys.
Yeah, gotta love it. But Grand Finals, you know, all respect goes out of the window.
Yep.
Cherkiza does not care. It's time to beat Dragoi. Time to take some names. But similarly, Dragoi does not care about what Cherkiza wants. Dragoi's here to make a name for himself as well. He's won Spain. He won the Spanish Legends tournament. It's time to take EU.
Good luck, have fun, ominous smiley face. And honestly, you can't pick a winner between these two, right? Dragoi has looked fantastic the entire tournament, but Cherkiza has that momentum coming from losers, dismantling both people he's come up against. We'll see if it's good enough. It's going to be Grand Finals, Cherkiza going up against Dragoi. It's going to be that Bilal going up against Narmaya.
Yeah, let's get some gambas in the chat. Who is going to win this Grand Final? Oh, let's get all the channel points on the page here. Spanish players, French players, rise up. It's time to support your team. 16k on Dragoi.
Yeah, I'm gonna put 1k on Trikiza because that's all I have.
I can't put any bets in. It's so sad.
Mod feels bad, but right now, Dragoi just look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so far ahead at this point.
And he's very good at being very suffocating without a life lead, let alone when he has one. Feels like he has a vice grip on this on the set so far. But again, as we've seen with Trikiza, he's very momentum based. He can turn a match set around like that.
Ooh, didn't get the. They didn't hit clean or something.
Yeah, I didn't get the full animation. It was a little bit too far away. They probably used easy input as well. Bit of an awkward confirm, but regardless, Dragoi cleaning it up, taking the first round.
It was by such a big health lead as well.
Here we go. Easily the biggest bet that we've seen so far. About 50k points on the line so far. Want to see some love for the French people? Let's get some more bets in Trikiza's favor. I mean, Trikiza is looking phenomenal so far. Finally has a health lead of his own. And again, what I'm loving about Trikiza more than anything is that in the recent weeks, he's been adapting to be very, very patient. He used to be a lot more aggressive, but these days, he's more than happy to just sit back and block. Get to the Granblue mixed. The Bilal backdash, still incredibly huge. Hitting out that throw whiff. And is that going to be the first match going over? It is not. That super does nothing when it's scaled, huh?
Next hit will do it though.
The damage is very front loaded.
We'll see. It's going to be a tough comeback for sure, but
Oh yeah.
one hit changes it. Ooh.
But then again, all it takes is one hit, you know? It's one hit aside. Well, it doesn't matter. Dragoi dashing in. And like you were saying earlier, they're both very good at checking each other's dashes with close lights and 2Ls. But obviously, Dragoi coming out a little bit ahead on that in that round. But the reset. Gotta get to that reset point for Trikiza.
Oh, bloody hell, I just realized he has to reset Dragoi. That is
That's not easy.
not an enviable position to be in.
You know, winning 1 versus 3 against Dragoi, not an easy task. Winning 2?
Have to be honest, but he's making something happen this game. This is a flashy combo. So, late tech. We'll get the hit low. That should be it. Go straight into super.
That's gonna be yeah. Big damage. And again, Trikiza pretty much putting us, you know, a perfect on the board.
Yep.
Showing us that can't write him off.
When he gets going, he can like have those really impressive games. It's just Dragoi does that from the get.
I mean, I think that it has a lot to do with Trikiza's hit confirms being genuinely phenomenal. Like, I don't see any Naomaya confirming into command dash super as much as he does, for example. But these days, he has the patience to be able to just block in situations like this. Walking back, goes to the EX Setsuna, is very in control.
Oh, clash! They'll go back to neutral.
Oh, never mind. In control until the second you decide to take some risk, and Dragoi is ready for it.
He's in the corner after this one too, so it's not going to be a great... And he has all his cooldowns as well. This sucks. Come on, grab.
Throw.
Poking out. Plus again, that's MDP. Oh, he's trying to just jab back, but look at the spacing from Dragoi. It's so good. Stage. So afraid to press a single button against this Bilal. And the 5H cancel compressor, that should be enough to kill. Absolutely is.
Dragoi tying this particular set back up. And it's looking like if Trikiza can't inch out a win here, his road is going to get a lot longer. Ooh, DP.
DP, I like DP. There's a stomp, good block.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is that I feel like all the French players must have practiced against Bilal, specifically against his stomp, because they're all respecting it and they're just blocking it out. We're seeing the same from Miri earlier as well. Bilal players aren't getting as much out of stomp as they used to. People are recognizing that they can just block the situations now, as this, you know, the fireball nurse, for example, are pretty big.
Little poke. Oh, that was a great button.
Yeah, Trikiza being so patient for such a long time, but now he's just using those buttons, interrupting the flow of Dragoi's pressure. Being forced to use the command grab to open him up. Not easy. There's a throw again. That's what happens when you're overly respectful, you're hitting up throw him.
5H forward.
That's gonna be oh no. Trikiza's road has just gotten a lot longer. Dragoi solidifying his lead on the set.
Dragoi is just not giving him any opportunity to breathe. constantly, like, it feels like he's going between states of smothering him and just standing full screen seamlessly.
I mean, especially in matchups like this where both of the characters are relatively well-rounded, you again need to have that switch. But both Dragoi and Trikiza are both showing off phenomenal phenomenal ability to go between the calm, collected, able to block it out, and then if switching it up, we could be seeing him switch over to Vasaraga potentially, or we could just be seeing him catching his breath, taking a bit of time.
I do appreciate that. Really, it's really good to go back to character just to take your breath. Yeah, no, just take your time, relax. You have a long road ahead of you for sure. Has to win every single game.
Can't drop a match now. Second year drop a match out of the tournament, but at the same time, we've seen him come back from worse. But he really has to turn on the turn on the juice at this point.
I really want to see him do it, and not just because I have 1k on him.
I mean, at the end of the day, he did get sent into losers, by I believe it was Dolph earlier on in the tournament, but he has had a long run through losers to get back here, and this could very well be dead. This could be a good start on the long road home. It is.
Oh, what? That was a great. So he MDP'd and he interrupted it, and he just built enough ball for the super afterwards. Really nice from Trakiza. But already Dragoi not phased at all.
I mean, he went back, got the color buff. He's online now,
Dragoi, always online.
Yeah, and that might gets matched with the DP.
Oh, good block on the cross-up, unless it was Gabban.
Catches him going back in with the 5H. With the 2U, now he's back to the corner. Dragoi forcing him closer with that fireball, keeping the pressure up, but again, Kisa happy to block it out, walks back and uses the Exetzina. This is the second time we've seen that exact situation play out.
Then the jump in will manage it, the stomp, not quite high enough I think to get
yeah, you can't get the follow up there I don't think.
Oh, clash!
That's unfortunate, gets caught on the command dash and then resets him into command throw.
One more hit will do it.
Tech, yeah, this is scary. Goes for the SBA, is that dead? Nah, is it going to be the full animation? A little bit too space, but walks back, forces the whiff with those slashes, and Dragoi, tournament point.
What a whiff punish with the 5H. Dragoi just knows his ranges. One win away from taking it all. Trakiza has to put on a masterclass to stop this from happening. We'll DP out there.
Well, 2M counter hit confirmed.
There's a stomp, good block. Late tech again. And he hasn't actually been hit. Look at his health.
Oh, far heavy, cancels the first hit. This is going to be a big combo. 50% of his health already gone. Gets the late throw tech. All of a sudden, the Ernest is on Trikiza to not get knocked out of the tournament. He gets the match, giving him a check, as we've seen in the past. Uses a relatively expendable cooldown and gets the counter hit from the Universal Overhead. If he has the source, this is the time to bring it out. This looks like it's going to be dead.
Bro, he has ketchup, mayonnaise, and every single sauce in supply. And he'll take that game, save himself from elimination.
Trikiza with the clutch Universal Overhead counter hit, closing out that round, keeping him in the tournament. But Dragoi, again, looking as convincing as ever. All he has to do is keep it together, and he has a very good chance of taking this series home.
Oh, what great spacing. Beats out that jab. In the corner. DP out. Doesn't want to hold any of it. 2-0 jab. And with the flip.
Block so far, going for the DP. Good mix between being, very patient from both players, very respectful, and then the next second being ready for those DPs.
That's not good, right? He's fine.
Yeah, I mean, again, the damage on that super seems very front-loaded, so definitely should be fine.
The next hit. Has to be afraid to command grab, throw, everything. Good tech. Not in chip range as of yet.
Oh no, gets hit by the Granblue mix, whiffs the throw, gets hit by the 2L, and all of a sudden, again, you're at this tournament point, but that seems to be the power-up point for Trikiza. I'm not gonna lie.
Every time he's on the edge, he manages to fight back, but Dragoi will start this off, takes him straight to the corner.
Oh no. Never mind, no punish. He gets the late mash, okay.
Okay, now Dragoi has his back against the wall. What does he do? Jumps. Why did I expect anything else? Goes for the command throw.
Oh, okay, the neutral jump on the JU. What on earth?
And if he gets like, a clean hit, he'll be able to kill here. TP
Yeah, both
comes
players,
out.
one clean hit, that's all it's going to take. This could go either way at any moment. Gonna get hit, one more.
Gonna try and walk into the corner, has to be careful. The stomp comes out.
He's again very respectful,
Late tech.
waiting for his moment. No player wanting to throw out that reversal. Getting hit by the throw, but that isn't enough. Getting hit by the counter, but that is going to be enough.
no. And Dragoi is
Akiza.
gonna take it.
Getting knocked out, and Dragoi is our HAB Season 2 champion for the 5th week. What a tournament, man.
Yo, Dragoi looking fantastic from start to finish. Trikiza had some moments in there where it looked like he was going to be able to take it, but Dragoi just, he's fantastic. What else can I say? Looks amazing.
He's proven himself on the Spanish stage, and now he's looking, he's got his eyes set on EU. That will solidify him a pretty big jump in the participant points. But Trikiza, again, securing himself a 2nd place, I believe that puts him at 21. Which, if it wasn't for Nivea also getting some points here, he'd be 2nd place. I believe he gets 3rd place secured from this one, though. Beautiful stuff from all of the top 8 and everyone who attended the tournament, because God only knows that Peter didn't even make top 8. That's how much talent there was in the entire bracket.
Like, this, like, I don't use the word often, but this tournament was stacked to the max. There was so many great players, but Dragoi just looked, I'm not gonna lie, Dragoi looked like he was just, for a lot of the times, he was cruising. Yeah.
I mean, he didn't drop a set that entire tournament, including grand finals. Trikiza, gave him a run for his money. It was looking like it was anyone's match right up until the last moment. The EX Command Thrower, though, again, he had so much that he had to look out for, was constantly being very respectful, trying to find his moment, but Dragoi, capitalizing on that, gets the EX Command Throw and secures himself the tournament.
Yep.
And that was an incredible run, but if you guys are interested in more great Granblue, you're not going to have to wait for a full week this time. Next Friday, we are going to be having the East Coast versus Europe exhibition. Should be a bit of fun. We're going to be seeing the likes of Trikiza, for example, in that tournament. And yeah, that should be a great time. Let me know what you guys think of this tournament in the in the Discord after this one. And I should be, basically, if one of you wants to redeem the channel point thing to choose where the raid goes, feel free to. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of fishing, see where we can drop you guys off.
Yep. Once again, thanks for having me, guys. It was really fun to watch you guys just have fun and chill. And honestly, like, even though I don't think I'll play Granblue, I definitely want to come back. You guys are such a riot to be around, honestly. And when the offline comes back again, everyone in chat, ask me for a beer, and I'll see what I can do about it.
We should get you on at some point in the future as well, man. Come on. Like, it was a great time having you on. I really appreciated finally getting you on after nearly a year at this point. And I think you definitely held yourself, held your own down very well.
Get better and see what we can do. But thank you, everyone. And yeah, what can I say apart from we love Bilal? I don't know. Bilal's my favorite character in the game, and
I'm gonna be dropping. Yeah, well, that's true. One of Europe's best Bilal players in EU! Exclamation mark. Hashtag not clickbait. Taking this entire tournament. But with that said, I'm going to be dropping you off with another edgy man. I'm going to be dropping you off with Rico Suave. He is going to be one of the players attending the East Coast tournament, so be sure to show him some love. And I will see you guys in 1 week for Guilty Gear and 2 weeks for Granblue. Thank you so much for all the love and support, and I'll see you then.